Welcome to Coach Hayes Football Live. He can talk about anything from high school to the pros. This guy knows the game, so you better not be half-stepping.
I can guarantee you most of the audience is going to agree with me before they agree with you.
Strap in, because Coach Hayes is about to
Crack your cranium and fertilize your brain. Go ahead, right here, right now.
subscribe now and check out CoachHayesFootball.com.
What's up, everybody? We in the place to be. Welcome to Coach Hayes Football on the Coach Me Coach podcast with Primetime Talk. Got a lot to talk about, a little bit of time to do it, but we got a special guest coming here in a minute, but let me bloviate for a minute. Colorado had their spring game. We're here to talk about that as well. What do the people think about it, right? Were they impressed, not impressed? Who stood out? Who didn't stand out? What did they expect? The whole 9 yards. And we got my guest. He's going to talk about it today. And some of y'all think this is a kitchen episode. Not really, just a conversation. Just say it like this, straight up, straight down. You know, not only am I a client, I'm also the president of the Colorado Colt. And I know people get mad when I talk like that. I'm to the point I don't care no more. It is what it is. And a lot of people in the building, man, showing love. So we're going to get right into this thing, man. We got 24 in climbing. So as you come on in, make sure you hit the like, share, and subscribe button, as we'll be dual casting this on my channel as well as my guest, but we'll talk about that here in a second. Y'all know I have a thing called Welcome to the Kitchen where people come and it's really a debate. A lot of people think I set those things up. And no, I take anybody that comes. I'm like a restaurant. You walk through the door, I'm going to give you the service. And I tell you, the ambiance is beautiful. The atmosphere is exquisite. But the customer service is god-awful. I mean, on Triple B, that is the Better Business Bureau, I got like 0.0 stars for my customer service, dog. It sucks. I give people the business. Somebody said, take that off. What you don't understand about this shirt, baby, not only am I a client, I'm also the president. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Anything is everything. Got to see what I'm doing here. Like I said, we're going to get this thing rocking and rolling, man. Let's go ahead and let's get this thing started now. Let's go ahead and clap it up for our guest of the evening. Big Tiger in the building. What's up with you, boy?
Yeah. We back, and we don't know how to act. Yeah. What's going on?
You don't know how to act, though? Oh, you don't know how to act?
No, we don't know how to act. You know what I'm saying? Colorado, look, I'm representing Colorado, and just for y'all Cane fans, out through the Florida State here, just because, you know what I'm saying?
I hear you. NASA say, what's good, Coach Hayes? I don't normally come to Colorado night, but I'm here. Trust me, I'm glad you're here. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to miss this dessert that's coming up here in a little bit. I promise you, you don't want to miss this dessert that's coming up on here. Listen, man, shout out to Big Tiger. He got his own channel. Let the people know where they can find you. I know we casting this as well on your channel as well.
Yeah, so Big Tiger Media, you can find me on YouTube. If you like football, we talk about Colorado, but we also talk about all these different other coaches, minority coaches around the league, trying to support everybody, the Mike Vicks, the Fran Browns, all these other coaches, Eddie Georges, that need a little love too to help boost their fanfare and their platform or whatever. And I also talk about farm stuff. I got a big ranch. I got a 100-acre ranch out here in Florida. And I got bulls, cows, goats, all that kind of stuff. I got pet alligators, all that stuff out here, man. So y'all can find me on TikTok if you into nature and stuff like that. Big Tiger.
That's awesome, dog. And I gotta clap it up for you, man. You know what I'm saying? You got the farm, the bull, the cows, the goats. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
trying to do it, man. Trying to do it. It's hard now because you out here on the island now, but it's cool though. It's cool.
I will say this. I hope those farm animals get used to tiger meat, because we about to serve us some tiger meat off in this joint in a minute. I just want to say, I just want to let you know it's finna go down. So let's go ahead and jump into this thing, man. You know, Big Tiger met maybe over a year ago, whatever the case may be. And we've had conversations, and I always say this to you, Tiger. I say cult member, but some days you'd be all right. And then other days you'll lean into cult mentality, then you come back. So I don't know how to take this, dog. So
see what it is. See, your hate is so strong. You got so much haterade in your cup. You think anything I say, it turns into a cult member. I'm just talking football, you know what I'm saying? So you think I'm a cult member because your hate is so strong. That's all that is.
Well, I'm going to prove in a few that you are so culted out that you're serving up dessert. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump in this thing. Like I said, y'all go ahead and hit the like, share, and subscribe button as you jump on in here, man. Have fun with it. And we'll make it happen, man. So spring game come around. We know Coach Fran Brown, Coach Prime kind of had a Twitter thing going on. They kind of planted a seed, in my opinion, about doing an inter-squad scrimmage, right? And that didn't necessarily come to fruition, but I think they did plant a seed, and something may happen next year. I don't know. But what was your thoughts about that as we get into the spring stuff?
You know, and you called it. You said some other coaches tried to do this before, and it got shot down. So you won't be surprised if it gets shot down. But I think the thing about it with Coach Prime compared to the other coaches, he does things on such a high level, and he gets so many other eyes and ears to pay attention to it. So when some coaches that might have a little, winning record or whatever, but they don't have the support from all kind of people in different places, when Coach Prime says something, he can't get his way. Sometimes other people make phone calls and they make it make sense. When the normal small guy, he just get pushed to the back and said, we'll talk about that next time, maybe next year, and then you just forget about it. So I think Prime has the ability to push the needle.
I can agree with that. I mean, he is who he is, and dollars make sense when it comes to the business world. People don't realize it is sport and entertainment, and I don't think people understand the two. I think they think it's separate, right? Mm-hmm. So I can agree with that. But what's your thoughts with? Because I know you've not worked with, but do shows about Fran Brown and so forth as well. So what's your thoughts on him jumping out there immediately when Coach Brown put it out there saying, hey, Coach, we'll meet you in Colorado for 3 days?
I love it because, and this is one of my knocks I've been saying about Fran Brown, not saying that he's not doing a good job, but if he want to be a big-time school, if he want to have a brand, you have to put your team out there. And pairing up with Coach Prime on a big stage, that would have put his team out there. Now all the Colorado friends, they know about Syracuse. Now all the people from New York might tune in because Coach Prime is connected to Syracuse. So I think that would have been a way he could have grew the Syracuse brand and the Fran Brown brand.
All right. Now, Fran Brown did come out in regards to his wide receiver, Trevor Pena, jumping into the portal and so forth. What was your thoughts on his take in regards to his response to Pena jumping in the portal?
Well, I think he said what a lot of coaches want to say. And that's the one thing that I like about Fran Brown. You're going to get, like with Coach Prime, sometimes he's going to say it, but you don't know how much of this is an act in media because Coach Prime did media for years. So he know how to work the camera, work the audience. With Fran Brown, he's just saying what the normal guy would say on the couch. And a lot of coaches understand I shouldn't say this because it's going to make me look bad. But Fran Brown really don't care. He's just going to give it how you going to give it. He locked in with Syracuse. He got his contract. So he like, look, I'm going to do it my way. If I get fired for speaking my mind, I get fired. But man, I done heard Fran Brown say 2 or 3 things that was kind of controversial. Like when they talk about the spring game, he said if it was some other guys that was trying to do it, they probably would have let it go through. And he was like, hey, NCAA, y'all don't get on me too bad. I'm just playing. He wasn't playing, but he threw that out there to make it seem like he was playing. And now to follow that up with the wide receiver, he came back and he was like, look, I ain't paying you $2 million. Now the guy up there in Ohio, he might can get $2 million. Or if Travis Hunter was to come back, hell, Travis Hunter can get part of my check. So he keeping it real, but he letting old boy know, look, when I got here, you had 22 catches. Come on, son. You had 22 catches in 4 years. I bring in a quarterback. We got a system to help you get off. And now you're going to desert us? Instead of standing in the trenches with us, you have a good year. Now you're going to try to level up on us with the guys that believe in you. And the other coaches that didn't believe in you like that. That's how you're going to do me? All right, you can go ahead and walk.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, right? And so they'll have a season they're gonna have, and that's cool. Let's jump into this as right before we get into the spring game. There's a lot more, I guess we call it controversy about jersey retirements. Shedeur Sanders getting his jersey retired. We saw that happen at the spring game. We saw Travis Hunter get his jersey retired. There's been a lot of, I guess, backlash in regards, and maybe in the Colorado fan base and even just across the country. Do you think those guys should have had their jerseys retired based on their performance?
All right, before I answer this question, I'm going to throw something back to you. So, Deion Figures, a lot of y'all don't know who Deion Figures is. Deion Figures wore number 2 in college, and he wore number 21 in the pros because he wanted to be like Deion Sanders. He was a Thorpe Award winner, and he helped lead Colorado to the national championship. In some kind of way, his jersey is not retired. Shalom, that was a nice running back. I think he was one of the youngest running backs to ever make it to the league. I think he made it to the league at like 19 or 20 or something like that. He was young when he made it to the league. Mm-hmm. And his number didn't get retired, even though he won the Heisman. His number didn't get retired till like 16, 17 years later when the man passed away. Mm-hmm. So should we wait until a person is in the grave before we retire their number? Or should we do like Colorado did back in the 50s and the 30s when they had an All-American? The next year, their number was retired. Make it make sense.
Okay, so here's my question to you. What is your standard if you were on a committee, not Colorado, just a committee? What is your standard to retire a jersey? I'm just asking you from your perspective, because everybody got a little different perspective, but I don't want to assume. I'd rather you tell me.
All right, my standard is different because you got some people in my high school. We had a guy that passed away while he was running around the track. His number got retired, not because of what he did on the field, because the sacrifice he did. Like he sacrificed his life, doing our conditioning program. So you have some guys get their number retired for different reasons. Now, you want it to be where you have a great performance on the field, but that performance could be anything. It could be like the guy from Georgia Tech. I heard your show when you was talking about the guy from Georgia Tech. For Georgia, he broke the streak when Georgia Tech had beat them like 7 times in a row or 8 times in a row. He scored the touchdown to break the streak. Georgia retired his number. So he wasn't no super All-American. He didn't win the Heisman. He didn't help him win a Natty. He just helped them get over that hump. So if a player help you get over that hump and they instoned in the history of that program, that could be a situation when you can retire a guy's number. That's
cool, but you still haven't answered what is your standards.
That's what I'm saying. My standard is if somebody comes in and they stand out to a point where everybody remember this guy for whatever he did. It was a moment. It was a season. It was a undefeated this or a run to the playoffs like how Cam Newton did at Auburn. If it's something where it's just special that this is rare, he should get his jersey retired.
So then based on that, being probably a program like we talked about the Greg Hagans, and a lot of people, I have to call it myself, I had never heard of Deion Figures until I listened to Matt McChesney, and he brought up the name. And I went and Googled who he was, and I was surprised. Like, oh, damn, I didn't know nothing about the gentleman, right? Mm-hmm. Of course, I've heard of Salon, right, and so forth. I heard of those guys, Cordell Stewart, Eric Bieniemy, Greg Hagan, and so forth, but had not heard of Figures. So based on what you just said, they did something, whatever, they should have their jersey retired. This is based on what you just said now. Mm-hmm. So wouldn't those guys fall in that category? Maybe not all of them, but maybe an Eric Bieniemy who put up 16 hundo.
Yeah. Now I feel like it should be like a little. You want to give them the praise. You want to retire their number, but it should be a situation where the number can come out of retirement if a kid asks for it and he put up good numbers. Now the coach can say, okay, I'll not the player, because some players can be selfish. Like Michael Jordan. I don't think if Michael Jordan got his number retired, I don't think he's gonna bring it out for nobody. But if the coach say, okay, this kid is him for us right now, we're gonna unretire this number for the duration of his time here, and then we're gonna put it back on the shelf until we get another guy that can break that cage or that glass to get the jersey.
So, for example, I don't have I think that's fair, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that, but you can't unretire a jersey that hasn't been retired. So if you had to look at that group of guys back in the late 89, 90s, 90 to mid 90s, which one of those guys? Because here's what I think about retirement of jersey. It's very few and far in between. It's not a bunch of guys. You'll run out of numbers. And I'll go back, and I know a lot of people don't like this, but if I wanted to go to the University of Miami, we had to start wearing letters on our jersey, right? It was that easy. So if you had to pick somebody in that group from 89 to 95, 96 or whatever, who would you have chosen?
Cordell Stewart for sure, and Deion Figures. Now, honestly, Eric Bieniemy, because we wanted to be Eric Bieniemy. Everybody wanted to wear that number 1 and have all the black. I think, I'm not for sure, but one of them had a shield on. I don't know if it was Eric Bieniemy or Cordell Stewart, but somebody had that dark shield on, so it was all black, and that made you really want to just black it out. I think that's why a lot of these colleges starting to do the blackout now, because of what Eric Bieniemy did in Colorado.
Right. So when I look at it, I say the same thing. Now, why do you think they retired Shadour's jersey? Well, let me go back. Why do you think they retired Travis's jersey?
Now, Travis, because Travis is special. Like he did something that nobody else has done in college football history that we know of.
Okay. But I would assume winning the Heisman as well, right? I mean, that's
playing both ways, winning the Heisman. The stuff he did, Travis paid some of them dudes NIL deals on the team. Like with some of his money, he took some of his money and paid for some of the players that didn't have money to help them along their way. So, Travis was an all-around good guy, on and off the field.
So is that retirement jersey worthy to pay somebody? I'm just asking because I don't know.
I mean, it adds to the hype. It adds to how good of a person he was, why he's deserving of this. Because name me another player that's done it.
I don't know if the other players have done it. Other players are not. They don't have well-off media, so we don't know. But I can't say that they haven't done it. But I can't say that they have either because we just don't know.
But you know what we do know? When Tennessee quarterback jumped in that portal, they had 4 players up there to do an interview. How they gonna be all right that their quarterback left, and so they can make an interview. They can pop up a nice little press conference to talk about how you left and we ain't happy with what you did. But when you do something nice, they don't understand how to elevate you, like Prime's elevating them guys at Colorado.
That's fair. I'll say that's fair, right? I'd say Prime uses social media, digital content like no other. And he understands it. He understands the formula, right? So I totally agree with that. So why do you think they retired Shadour's jersey? Because Travis paid for NIL. He won the Heisman, played both ways, all of those things, put up over 1,000 yards receiving. So then why do you think they retired Shadour's jersey then?
With the Shadour situation, I mean, and I seen that show you was talking about he broke 100 records. During the spring game, they said that again on national TV. He broke 100 records. And when they started talking about the records, it's like 6 games with 100, with 300 yards and every game with a touchdown and this. Like, it was a lot of small little records, little stuff that they do. But the big record is the touchdowns. Like, you broke the touchdown record and you was only there 2 years. He was trying to get the passing record, but he broke the touchdown record. He was only there 2 years. Like, that's amazing. If he would have played, this is what's so crazy. If he would have played that whole first year and they would have went to a bowl game, he probably could have broke the passing record for yards and touchdowns. So that's why I feel like Shadour being inducted or getting your number retired, he deserves that because he's done something that nobody else has done. And them guys had 4 years to do it. He only had 2.
So you brought up the 100 records. I didn't even want to talk about it anymore, but since you brought it up and opened the door, do you believe there are 100 records that can be broken of significance?
No, not of significance. It's just little small. Because I've heard guys say stuff like this right here. Oh, he's completed 100% of his passes when he rolled to the right. I'm like, what? But that's the kind of stuff they do to make guys seem elevated when the pocket passes started to dwindle. When the mobile guys started coming in and doing stuff, they started making up stuff for the pocket passes to make them look good, and that's how this all stemmed from that. Just try to make have you ever seen Tom Brady's draft tape when he was working out the combine?
Mm-hmm.
How slow he looked and terrible he looked. So when you got that and you got Vince Young working out at the same time, so you got to make up stuff for Tom Brady to make him seem a little elevated, things that Vince Young have not done. So that's what they started doing.
So you saying so what you just said was they had to make up stuff for Shador to elevate it.
Well, it's taking stats that we normally would gloss over. Now they're going to take that and highlight and say, oh, this is good. He threw a touchdown in the last 5 games against our rival. Like, what? Like, but it is a record. At the end of the day, it's a record.
I just broke a record. I just broke a record right now. I blinked 3 times in less than a minute.
But nobody don't keep stats on that, Coach Hayes.
And nobody keeps stats on 100 quarterback records.
Yes, they do. They keep stats on how many touchdowns you throw in a game. So if you throw one touchdown in a game,
problem. Listen, that's a fair record. That is okay. That's one. There's 99 others. I'll probably give you 10 significant. Where are the other 90? Yeah, the other 90, they might be he threw the ball more than anybody else. That's still a record. You know what I'm saying? It's still he had the most passing attempts in the game. It's still a record, but is it worth anything? Nah, but it's still a record. Okay. All right. I'm just asking because, like, to me, I think that's where I think some disingenuous stuff comes to people who know the game. Like I said to you one time before, it's like me trying to show David Copperfield a magic trick.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
I'm not gonna but for the person on the street that don't know no better, me pulling a quarter from behind your ear is the most amazing thing they ever seen, and it's insignificant. This is where you get the aunties that go crazy. This is where you get the people who keep regurgitating this stuff, right? He broke 100, and I'm not trying to take anything. I think Shador is a great player. I really do. But this is the kind of stuff that it's like, what 100 records? Bro, I didn't even know you could come up with 100 records, dog.
Look, I didn't really know that either. But that's what I'm saying. I started noticing things a while back, but nobody called them on it. I would hear announcers say stuff when a guy would throw the ball, and they were like, oh, that's a wonderful pass. And then Justin Fields would get in the game, and he'll throw a ball that's even better, and he was like, oh, that's a great catch by the wide receiver. I'm like, come on, man. So you're going to give him praise, but you ain't going to. So I started noticing the word play, the different kind of awards for being mediocre. They start doing that. So it's a part of the game now. So now Shador's in that cycle, and he can benefit from that.
Okay, that's fair enough. So with these 100-something records, whatever, and you say they retired his jersey, then why not retire a guy like Eric Bieniemy who holds currently the rushing record at 1,600?
And the reason why that's not because people didn't hold Colorado to the fire. People didn't hold Colorado accountable, and that's why Colorado program went down. Because you didn't do right by your players. The same way with Miami. When that new AD came in, was it the AD or was the president of the school? The president?
Probably President Donald Shalala.
Yeah, he came in, he wanted to change everything, and he didn't want to recognize the players, and he didn't want to, Luke couldn't be out there no more, all that kind of stuff. So once you change the coaching, the players feel like, okay, this dude, he don't care about us. And people start coming to your school.
Because it's been reports that Rick George is actually the one who initiated this. And Rick George, from my understanding, and this is what makes it even crazier, Rick George was a part of those programs. That's the thing that blows my mind. If Rick George, he was an assistant AD. Hold on. That
was a long time ago now. That was 40 years ago, wasn't it?
but he was a part of that. So he understands the history. He was there for it. It's not like he's a guy that came in and doesn't know the history. He was, let's just find out Rick George. Let's find out his history. Because if I look at Rick George and I say, okay, where was he at prior to this, that, and the third? Let me see here. From my understanding, that's what was reported. I think he was an assistant AD, so therefore he was a part of it. I'm not saying he had a decision making of it back then, but to be a part of something. And again, I don't know. I think he was young in the game, but he was there. I'm trying to see where I can find out his history. Like, you can look up a coaching history. I don't know his history.
Yeah, see, I didn't know he was a part of it. I thought he came in like the 2000s or something. I didn't know he had been there the whole time.
Here we go. After graduating from Illinois in 1982, where he lettered 4 times in football, he was hired in 1987 by CU coach, which is Colorado, Coach Bill McCartney, as the football recruiting coordinator. And he helped build a team that was undefeated in the 1989 regular season and won the 1990 national championship. So he was a part of building that.
Okay.
And then to come and overlook that, I think is messed up, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying he had any power back then, but you hold the power now.
Yeah.
And for the reports, and I believe someone said, well, it's been reported that he was the one to initiate this to Coach Prime. I think Prime did a press conference about it. Rick George needs some lashes.
Okay. Well, let me say this right here. At the time, he was a small voice. He was in the room, but he was a small voice, right? So maybe he suggested it to him, and they shooed him away, right? But
I agree.
But the last few years since he's been in control that I know of, they haven't been doing a lot of winning. So sometimes you don't want to bring back your studs when everything is low. You want to kind of bring them in when it's a high. And also, let me say this. I noticed when Prime got there, some older players came back. But I didn't see Deion Figure because I know he looked up to Coach Prime. So I wanted to see them in the picture together. I never seen that. And Cordell came back. But Bieniemy didn't come back. And it was a time when Bieniemy didn't have a job. Because first I was like, okay, well, he coaching in the NFL. He don't got time. But he was out of a job. And he still didn't come back. So I was like, what's going on?
So I get all that. I guess my question is, though, Tiger, if you were there, part of the national championship team, you helped build, because to me, let's not get it misunderstood. The Colorado wasn't like they were in the 90s. They were bad prior to those guys getting there. And these guys, in essence, if you want to make a parallel, did the same thing that Coach Proms and them group did. The difference is the eyeballs. They didn't have social media. They didn't have all those things. So, of course, the reach was maybe not as far. I'm not holding Prime and nobody accountable for that by no stretch. I'm just saying, but they did, because like you said, you growing up in Georgia,
exactly.
you were watching Colorado games.
Exactly.
So what I'm saying is the notoriety, I would say, is equivalent. Of course, I'll give Prime more because they have more reach with the way social media is constructed today. But the national media said, wait a minute, these boys got something going on in Colorado. And then it died, to your point, it died off. And then Coach Prime comes, he reinvigorates it. Great. I think my question is, and especially when I heard Rick George was the initiator of this, how could he overlook not all those guys? I'm not asking all those guys, but if Rick George was the initiator of it, that means he has a standard. How could you overlook some of those guys from that year that actually brought a natty to your school? I ain't even talking about a bowl game or money. We're talking about a national championship that is in the halls of Colorado forever.
Let's talk about it then. All right, Florida State. I was looking up some of the players as the numbers retired. Prime, Charlie Ward, but you know whose numbers not retired? He won a Heisman and he won a natty.
Who's that?
Jameis Winston.
Maybe because it's a time. How fast did they? I don't know. I'm asking because I don't know. how fast do they retire jerseys after those things happen?
I think it's the crab legs.
May very well be. And that's a great point. So to Eric Bieniemy's point, I know he got in some trouble at Colorado. So that could have dinged him. Cool. Right?
Mm-hmm.
But Salam, of course, he got his done. And that may be enough for them. And I'm okay with that as well. But I think Rashawn Salam is in the same boat as Travis Hunter because they both won natties. So there's a parallel. Who's in the same boat as
both won Heisman?
Right. I mean Heisman, yes. I'm sorry. But who's in the same boat as Shador then? If you go back and look for that 5-6 year span. Like I understand Travis get one. I totally understand. I understand that Salam he was a Heisman winner. Fine. Who would be the equivalent of back then? Hagan, maybe?
No, I would say it'd be Cordell Stewart because they had almost the same miracle play, all that kind of stuff. Cordell Stewart is iconic. Slash, the Shador, Slash, you know what I'm saying? Nicknames like so. Eric Bieniemy didn't have no nickname because his name was so fly. He didn't have a nickname. Shalom didn't have a nickname. Cordell Stewart was Slash.
Okay. So I'm asking you a question. So you say Cordell?
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's my whole point. So if that's the case, then how is it that the guy who was a part of that program overlooked that and be the initiator at the same time? I think that's where the beef is. I don't have beef with Prime. Like I said before on my thing. Initially, I was like, what? But then as I thought about it, hell, I ain't mad at you, Prime. Do what you got to do. But go ahead.
Now, you're right. And I feel like a lot of people never have a beef with the program or never have a beef with the coaches. Like the coaches have been able to jump, flip schools. The only coach I know got pushed back was Lane Kiffin. He's the only coach I know.
What you mean? Got pushed back? I think my dog got stuck. Real quick before you come back, FPSD for the $2. Thank you. It's very hard for a Prime fan to explain. I'm just asking questions. I don't know. I'm just asking questions. I think the dog in the portal. All right, you back. You was in the portal. You back. You in the portal for a second.
All right. So like when these coaches jump ship, like we had a coach at Appalachian State. He was there 1 year, won, left, and went to Missouri. Like he was there 1 year, no backlash. But when the kid jump in the portal from Tennessee, they burning his jersey. So it's like
I know I got that, but what I got to do because I know you were talking, you didn't realize you were stuck. Last thing we heard you say was Lane Kiffin, so I don't know where you went from there.
All right, see Lane Kiffin, he's the only coach I know that got a lot of backlash when he left Tennessee. The way he left Tennessee, he got a lot of backlash. No other coaches get backlash. They leave these kids doing the bowl games, and I applaud Deion Sanders for that. When he stayed at Jackson, when you stay at Jackson and you keep coaching through your bowl game, you put yourself behind building your squad for the next year. That comes with it, right? But I'm not just going to abandon my kids because I got another job. I'm going to finish what I started, and then I'm going to go on to my next. Yeah, it's going to put me behind, but if I win my bowl game, it builds, or if we have a good showing in the bowl game, it still builds my legacy, right? And I don't let these kids down. I don't just walk away from these kids. So people are fine with grown men walking away from kids, but they're not fine with a kid walking away from a grown man.
All that's fair. I don't have any disagreement with that, but I don't understand how that response got to do with anything we were talking about retiring jerseys. I'm a little lost.
No, I'm talking about how the status quo. The kids always get blamed, but nobody never blames the coaches or the school. It's always, does he deserve this? Whatever, like James Winston. I think the crab legs, that he did something wrong, he's out.
That's fair though. I don't have a problem with that. I mean,
Colorado.
Yeah.
So Colorado did Deion Figures wrong by not retiring his jersey. But where's the backlash?
And you're getting the backlash, right? Okay, you didn't retire it. Fine, no problem. I think if the backlash is not coming from Travis, I think the backlash is because you retired Shador's, but you didn't do his. If they would have just said we're gonna retire Travis, I don't think there would ever be any backlash because of the Heisman accomplishment as well as his totality as a player and all that he's done. I think the backlash comes from that piece of it. And I'll just say this and we can move on. At the end of the day, it's Colorado. They do what the hell they want to do. I'm just looking at Rick George saying, to me, that's jacked up. That not only that you did that, come to find out you were a part of those programs.
Mm-hmm.
That's
right.
That's jacked up, dog. Like to me, that's more jacked up than see if Rick George said it, he doesn't really know the history, which he probably should have went back and researched. But now to find out he was a part of
he was in the building.
He literally was blowing the whistle. Line up.
But the reason why I went off on my little tangent because I feel like Florida State is jacked up for not retiring Jameis Winston, but they don't get backlash for that.
Well, here's the question, and I don't know. Like I asked you, because you said you did the research. How long do they have a window of time? Jameis Winston only been gone, but a few years, maybe 10 at this point. I don't know.
How long? You got to die first? How long you got? How long you have to be?
Okay, let's find out. Yeah.
It ain't there because when Colorado retired them other jerseys, it was the next year. After they stopped playing, it was the next year.
Okay. And here's the thing. You have a valid point. Maybe they didn't do Jameis Winston, but let's call this. Jameis Winston, just because he did win the Heisman. That may be the thing. All right. Let me see. Deion Sanders' number 2 jersey at Florida State was retired in 1995. All right. When did he stop playing? 89. So that's 6 years, something like that.
I thought he was part of that 84 draft, I thought.
Who, Deion Sanders?
Yeah, I thought he was part of that 84 draft. 84, 85, I thought.
No, not that far back. Deion Sanders was drafted. And that dude, that ran off 4.2, cuz. 89. He was drafted in 89. He was the 5th pick overall in 1989. Okay. So 6 years later, they retired his jersey. Fine. But to your point, Jameis Winston may have hurt his stuff with the crab legs. That's fine. I don't have an issue. I really don't have an issue with that. Right? Like if that's what they say. But that's neither here. I mean, I get that. That's neither here nor there.
Let's say this. Do this. When was Charlie Ward retired? His jersey. Because he did it on the basketball field and football field.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Charlie Ward being the new head basketball coach at FAMU, man. Shout out to Charlie Ward.
I don't like that. Why he can't be the head coach at Florida State? Why he can't be an assistant coach at Florida State?
Come on, Ty. You really want to go down that lane? We could go now.
I'm just saying, if he was this guy for y'all, why we can't bring him in? Because Frost went back to Nebraska, right? He was a Heisman winner. He got a chance to coach in Nebraska. It didn't pan out, but he got it.
Yeah, but he was also coaching. I have to say this now. Give credit where credit. What I'm saying is Frost coached at UCF, went undefeated, the mythical national champ. Oh, he's in limbo here. Hold on. You back? Okay.
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah, right here. Charlie Ward was played from 89 to 93. And I'm trying to see I don't know when they retired his jersey. I'm trying to see. Somebody in the chat can let us know.
So Charlie Ward and Deion was on the campus at almost the same time?
Yeah. He was young, but he was leaving out when he was coming in.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Um, 1990. Let me see. 17.
And the reason why I hold Charlie Ward up to this high standard, because he did it in basketball and football. Like, what? I didn't even know he was that nice in basketball until he got drafted. And he was in the league for like 10 years.
Yeah. So I'll say this. I'm looking at Charlie Ward coaching. Charlie Ward was coaching. Ward was an assistant coach for the NBA team, the Houston Rockets. I don't know how long he did that. But he's been more in the basketball league. I mean, in the high school realm. Bro, I don't know why people understand. It's not like that's a hard business decision in my take, but we don't have to go down that road. I don't know when they retired his jersey. I've been trying to pull it up, but I can't seem to find it. I can't seem to find when they retired it. Maybe somebody could put it in the chat. But anyway, FPSD, this is ridiculous. Who is this guy? Shout out to FPSD. That's Big Tiger, man. Y'all go check him out. But anyway, so like I said, with that being said, it's just what it is. Let's get to the game, man. The spring game happens. What's your take on the spring game? I know you're looking forward to it. You had a show right before it. You know, I was listening to you. So what was your take on the show prior to it?
At first, I was like, what the heck going on? Why is Juju with the number one line? That's the first thing I said when I saw that. And then Salters was with the number twos. So it was kind of weird at first. My brain was, I'm trying to calculate what's going on right now.
Okay.
Even though Juju, I like a Georgia boy, that's my guy. He's the next one. He one of the ones. But I'm still like trying to figure out, I had never seen a freshman, a junior in high school really coming out with the number one team. Like, what's going on? So once we went through all that, and he started out kind of bad too, like he was nervous and they was throwing bullets at him. They was blitzing and all that kind of stuff. Now think about it. In preseason, they don't even blitz the pros. And they blitzing the dude that's a junior in high school. They coming in hot. So I'm looking at all this stuff trying to get an understanding of what's happening. And I found out after the game, they asked Coach Prime, why did Salter not run with the ones? He didn't really answer it. He just kind of said the quarterback had some issues that we had to work out, and he put himself in that situation. Asked the quarterback. And I don't know if they had a clause where you couldn't ask him that or whatever, and they're trying to protect the players. But from what I heard, he was lacking on some of his grades or whatever. And, you know, Coach Prime, he's strict on that. He want them guys to have like a 4.0. And
so hold on. Let me ask you a question. Prime says, ask the quarterback. And then when they got up there on the podium, they didn't ask the quarterback.
They asked the quarterback. So, and you know how it is. You can kind of.
I want to ask that again. So Prime says there were some issues. Go ask the quarterback. And when the quarterbacks got on the podium, none of them asked the quarterback?
No. But I think what happened too, now this is another thing that could have happened that threw the reporters off. I've never seen this. You tell me, you're a coach. Have you ever seen this before? They brought Juju out and Salters out at the same time. So you got a senior and you got a darn high schooler sharing the same podium at the same time. Have you ever seen that?
You have in cases, but I'll put it this way. It may not be often, but it wasn't surprising. What's more surprising is because people want the story. And if the coach say, go ask the player, most reporters going to say, well, Coach Prime told us to ask you, why weren't you running with the ones?
Yeah, but once Juju came out with Salter, now some people want to ask Juju question. They want to ask Salter question. They only have so much time. So I think they kind of just missed it because Juju was up there and it threw off the vibe now.
In the world of clickbait media, Tiger, in the world of, see, this right here, what I be saying, we be cool. And then here we go. This might be some cult behavior. You came up with, your answer is, well, because they brought them up there. In the world of clickbait media, when the coach says, go ask the quarterback, and the quarterback is up there, and nobody asks him why.
Well, this is the thing.
Come on.
You got some guys that want to talk to Juju. You got some guys that want to talk to Salter. It's a lot to cover, and you only got so much time. So,
bro, that's one of the main questions. You just said it. I asked you, what were your thoughts of the game, right? We're just fans. We're not reporters. And the first thing you said was shocked you was the high schooler is starting with the ones. That's probably the hottest topic. Just think about it. If you were a reporter and you came out and started talking yourself. I just asked you what you thought of the game. You didn't talk about the plays. You didn't talk about none of that. First thing came out your mouth was, I was shocked to see Juju running with the ones.
No, I also said this right here. I also said maybe they couldn't ask them certain questions. Maybe they told them, don't ask them this. I said that too. So you and like the Colorado fans, the haters strong.
You did say that, but that's what's amazing. The head coach say, ask him, and the PR person say, hey, y'all better not ask him that question.
But see, on that now we speculating. What I do know is you only have so much time on that podium, and they brought both of them guys out at the same time. So it could have threw them off because now they're trying to ask their Juju questions and ask because you know how it is. Sometimes they'll hit you with the little small questions, and then they'll come back and hit you with the. So why didn't you start? What happened? They'll soften you up first, then they'll hit you with the big stuff midway through it. But with Juju on the stage with him, they didn't have the same amount of time.
Okay, no problem. All right, so what else about the spring game? Let's talk about the plays within the
all right. So now this is one thing that the Colorado fans get on me about. They say I'm a hater, right? They say I'm a hater. They say me and you, we blood brothers. That's what they say, right?
I don't know about that. We might be
that's what they say. All right, they say I've been hanging around Coach Hayes too long. That's what they say. But Salters, my knack with Salters is I want to see him win the game with his arm. I know you can run. I know you, but RG3 could run too. And we talked about how fast he was, Olympic speed, but that running got him in trouble. So I want you to win the game with your arm, to get used to winning the game with your arm. And it was a play when it was like a post. The wide receiver was going to come right behind the linebacker. Instead of him backing up and holding for another half a second and throwing it, he took off running. And then he hit the check down. But if he had waited for a half a second more, like I should do it stand in that pocket. And he'll throw it, take that lick, but he got a 30, 40-yard gain. That's what I want to see from Salters, and that's what I'm trying to tell Colorado fans. I want to see him win the game with his arm, not rely on his legs. And there was another play when the tight end was, and he did good, but these are some stuff I want to see him work on. It was a tight end. Shouts out to the chef, Jerome. He said we were going to use our tight ends more. A tight end coming across the middle.
I can't get no love.
You said I thought you were jabbing at Jerome. You were jabbing at him. But it came through. I said, Coach Hayes, but I told him that the other day on the show. I said, Coach Hayes gave you a shout out. I don't know if he was trying to shank you or not, but he said Jerome talked about the tight ends. So they did use the tight ends. But we had a tight end dragging. Clear pocket. He wasn't flustered, nothing. And he missed the throw. And so that's when I tell people Juju can throw the ball. He just got a gift. I don't think he's going to miss that throw right there. So when people start hating on me, I'm like, Lord, this is what I'm telling y'all. I don't think he's fully in control of his pass.
So not the skip. But you say Juju hits that drag route. Is that fair?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But didn't Juju also miss the little quick dump right there to Dalen Hayden? Number 7?
He hit Dalen Hayden in his hands. You see Juju turn and look at the coaches and say, I hit him in the hands.
Okay, I was just asking.
But a Colorado fan told me yesterday he threw it in the dirt. He hit Dalen right in his hands and it went to his feet. He hit him. You can't. It was kind of at a weird angle because it's coming across the lineman. So I can see how the ball gets there kind of quick because the linemen are blocking the view of the ball. So I can see how you would drop it because it got on him so fast, but he hit him in the breadbasket.
Hit him in the breadbasket?
Yeah, right in his stomach.
In his stomach?
His stomach, his hands right there. He right there. Boom.
Tiger, let's not do this now.
What? You tell me what you saw.
Tiger, are you sure?
That's what I saw.
Tiger, let's not do this now. We already got one course dessert today.
That's what I saw.
Tiger,
Juju turned and looked at the coaches and said it hit him in the hands.
Tiger, we got
Juju closer than all of us.
Tiger, we got one course meal dessert today.
Hey,
I'm just saying.
So what you saying? He missed him? That what you saying?
Tiger. I'm finna pull up
It
this
seems like
video.
you on that cane juice. You can't make up your mind. Did he miss him or did he hit him?
No, you said in the bread basket. Far from the bread basket, brother.
Like the waist area, the waist in the stomach area. He hit him. That ball was right there.
Tiger, let's not do this.
You trying to find it. You trying to find it.
I'm pulling it up because I'm trying to help you. I don't want to get the second course dessert.
Well, if he did that, I mean Juju is a liar. Because Juju turned to them coaches and said, I hit him in the hands. What else I supposed to do?
No, I'm not saying, but you said it right in the bread basket. I think it was low and away. Was it a catchable ball? Maybe he should have caught it, turned his head late. But I highly, and I can't play it because they're dingus. But I can show you a still shot of it.
Yes, he had two hands on it. And don't they say if
that's different. That's different than the bread basket. That's the ball right here. See what the ball is.
But no, show the ball while it's in the air. I want to see the ball because that's after he done dropped it right there. He dropped it now.
Hey, hold on. I gotta pause it just so they don't.
I got you, but you won't get no copyright. Now that's a good chip by him. That's a good chip right there.
That's great.
And see, that Juju could have hit that tight end right there. He was wide open.
Sure could have, but that's not the question.
Now if Hayden catches this, hold on. All right.
I'm trying to get it right. Hold on.
No, that's right there, bro. That's right there, bro.
That's in the bread basket.
No, you let it hit the ground.
It said it was in
the ground. He led him with it.
You said right in the stomach.
He led him with it. If he keep running, he run right through that to keep running.
That's different than what you said. Look what that ball. I'm just saying what you said and I'm not saying it wasn't a catchable ball. You said in the bread basket.
So that's in the strike range, right? From the knees to the hip. That's in the strike range, right?
That's different than the bread basket.
I mean, look. Well, when Juju turned to the coaches, he had both. He got both his hands on him.
I don't disagree with any of that, right? What I'm saying is, was it a catchable ball? Yeah. Hayden turned his head around late. That's why he just caught him like that. I think if he had his head around, he would have saw it and caught it. And it's a catchable football by all stretch of imagination. Not perfect, but definitely a catchable football.
That's in the strike zone.
Sir. Okay. Yeah, okay. That's fair. But bread basket, that's the edge of the strike zone. That's low and away.
Y'all see how Coach A want to do it?
No. Your terminology, Tiger, was in the bread basket. I'm only telling you for what you said.
Well, okay. So let me change that. I apologize. He got both hands on it.
It was in the strike zone. I'll take that. That's a fair analysis.
Yeah.
But in the bread basket.
Man, here we go. See that? Coach A did what you do. You would nitpick something. That was a catchable ball. He dropped it. That's the end of that story right there.
There it is. That's all you had to say. But you kept adding. It was right in the back because you were so in love with Juju.
No.
I'm just saying.
The chat. Was that a nice ball or was that just out of bounds?
Oh, it's a very catchable football, right? Not the easiest of catches, but it's a catchable football. Like I would equate this to Lamar Jackson's throw, right?
Yeah.
Was it perfect? No, but definitely catchable. So like when people go and complain and be like, Lamar Jackson threw that ball messed up. No, I don't think so. Could it have been a better ball? Sure. But was it like an egregious misthrow? No. All right. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. But anyhow, I just wanted to put that up there because I just like keep, we always talk about keeping people accountable for what they say. And bread basket is a little different than catchable. I'm sorry, Tiger. Maybe I'm a little.
That's two hands.
That's fair. I didn't dispute that. Anyway, Yeah, we getting to that point, my brother. But anyway, what do you say this? Everybody complained about the running game. Were you impressed with the running game?
Well, see, I got a different concept on the running game.
Hold on. Shout out to Jerome again. Sous Chef Jerome said, we're going to run the ball a lot more. You just watch and see. Go ahead. I'm listening.
All right, about our running game. We never had an issue with the running game except for being consistent with the running game. Like, even if you got a side, if you don't show that side enough attention, it'll go away. It would go away. So with our running game, we just did not give it enough love. Like I talked to these guys the other day. The running
you talking about last year or you talking about the spring game?
Well, I'm talking about the whole duration since Coach Prime been there. We've never really had a
spring game. I'm talking about right now.
Spring game, I mean, we ran the ball in the spring game. We had all our running backs did pretty good in the spring game. The ones that played did good.
Okay.
I mean, you got Brandon Hood, Colton Hood, little brother. He scored a touchdown. His first run was like an 8-yard run. Hayden had a 20-yard run. And then you had a bunch of backups. So Charlie didn't play and Michael Welch didn't play. And then Augustus, he just left. And he just got paid $500,000. So nobody ain't finna pay you $500,000 unless you Miami. You just like to give Vick all this money. And your girlfriend leaving you and all that kind of stuff. All right, back to it. So I throw it in there. But most people don't pay somebody that they don't think can get the job done. And when we had a game against Central Florida last year, Augustus, he had 9.8 yards of carry, and he only got the ball 4 times that game. So it's not we always had a running game. We just didn't stick to it.
Okay. So now you got mad about semantics. I don't want to get semantic. My question is, what you saw in the spring, do you feel confident that they're going to stick to the running game moving forward?
I think they're going to have to stick to the running game moving forward because you don't have a Shador. That's why his jersey got retired. You know, you don't have a Shador that can just help you out of a lot of situations. And we talked about how he's missing some of his throws. So you don't want to have them in a lot of 3rd and longs. You want to have them in 3rd and 2, 3rd and 4, something that he can run and get the first down, or he can dump it down, a little small comeback, something like that to make it easier.
Okay. So with that being said, if you had to put a percentage on it, what do you think they ran the run pass ratio was in the spring game? Since they don't have Shador anymore.
I still think he was like maybe 60-40 pass.
Take your 10 the other way.
You think he was like 70-30?
It was a little bit closer, like 76-33.
Well, I'm gonna say this. Both of the could be the first and second string. They got like 18 passes apiece, and then the third string he only got 2 passes. All the running backs got 4 to 5 touches.
I'm only talking about the first 2. I ain't worried about Staub, unfortunately. Sorry, Staub, but I'm not talking about those guys. Here's my next question then.
Wait, hold on. Now remember, both of them was 18. They got 18 throws apiece, right? But some of them was on 7-on-7. So if you I'm not talking about 7-on-7, only 11 on. I got you. I'm just saying the stats we looked at the end of the game, they was mixed in with the 7-on-7. All the running plays were straight scrimmage, and all them boys got the ball at least 4 to 6 times, you know, in that range. So that's 4 running backs. That's like 20-something runs.
Tiger, don't do that.
I'm just telling you, 20-something runs.
Tiger, don't do that. You can go through the play. Don't do that.
Hey, 20-something runs, though. That's the stats. My man LG gave me the stats after the game. I was like, dang, he got 5, he got 6, he got 4. I'm like, okay.
We're not talking about when Coach Prime talk about the long handoff. the throw to the side is like a long handoff. Not those. We ain't talking about those.
No, we talking about get a ball here, right here in the backfield, stretch play, you know, RPOs, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Here's what I'll say to that. So, like on 4th and 7, they ran the ball. It was a decent run, but it wasn't enough for the first. Why wouldn't they throw it on that 4th and 7?
What quarterback was in when they did that?
Juju. It's 4th and 7. You got nothing to lose. You're going for it.
All right. Well, I think that's one of those plays when they would do that with Marshall Faulk and Barry Sanders all the time. When it's you kind of catch the defense off guard, they get into their drops thinking it's going to be a pass. Now you hit them with a run and you might spring it.
Okay, I'm looking at the 4th and 7 play right here. All right, no problem. Defensively, man, how do you think the defense played?
I think the defense did pretty good. They said the safeties showed up pretty good. The linebackers showed up. The D-line is kind of questionable because you couldn't hit the quarterback. So it's kind of hard to see how your D-line is getting off when you can't hit the quarterback. But they did pretty good. I didn't see anybody getting pushed around on the defense. I only seen like 2 missed tackles the whole day. So they did pretty good. Got an interception, got a few sacks. Then they got 3 sacks on the day and an interception. That's pretty cool.
So defensively, who do you think gonna be the star? Like, we know we had Shiloh, you had Sealman Craig kind of popped off. You had the young man that came from Charlotte in Michigan, Hill Green, who has now moved on. Who is the next? Who's the new dude?
All right, I think Salter's younger brother. He's wearing number 41, and I think he's gonna be a star. I seen him in the last scrimmage. He had 2 picks. In this scrimmage, I think the first play of the game, I think he got a tackle in the backfield. So he's one of them. He transferred in. I think he came from TCU. And Colton Hood, I feel like Colton Hood is going to be one of the best DBs in the country. Yeah.
What's his number?
Well, he had 31 last year. I think he had 31 or 3. He had 3. I don't know, 31 or 3 last year. I think he had 3 last year. But he won't number 1. He won't number 1.
But you don't know what he was in. I can't tell. I don't know his jersey number, so I couldn't tell.
Yeah, I think he was 3 last year. He was 3 last year.
I'm gonna tell you a dude that stood out to me, and like y'all gonna say, "Oh, you biased," but the kid Branch from the crib from Miami Northwestern. I thought he stepped out. The kid played safety, had the interception, came down, made a play on the tight end.
Yeah,
I thought he came in, especially as a true freshman. I thought he played relatively fast. I thought he got to the ball quickly, came in, made big plays and stuff like that. Again, got the interception off of a tip, of course, no problem at all, and so forth. So I thought he did a decent job. Let me go back offensively right quick and talk about offensive line. Any concerns there?
Yeah, there's a lot of concerns there. We had our starting center to leave out. Did I say we? I said we had our start. Okay.
Ain't your first time.
Our starting center, he transferred out. So I don't know if we got somebody coming in that's better than him. If we got somebody on the roster that's better than him. I will say in the spring game Saturday, I didn't see our starting center getting pushed in the backfield like how Hank was getting pushed in the backfield. Like we started out with Hank, he was getting pushed in the backfield. We brought Cash in. Cash did better. And Cash actually got a good grade. Like he was one of the top freshmen in the Big 12 last year. But Coach Prime didn't give him a scholarship.
He was a walk-on though, wasn't he?
Yeah, and Coach Prime didn't give him a scholarship. But normally he gets scholarships after the spring game. He didn't give him a scholarship, and he walked. So he went somewhere else. Maybe going back.
And I saw Prime just gave somebody a scholarship. He just did it today. I think. Who did he give? Who was it?
I think he was being the safety.
The starting safety?
Yeah, he's the starter right now.
But the starting center?
But Ben was there from the very beginning. Remember, Prime went in there, he tried to run everybody off.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, raise your hand if you ain't leaving or whatever. And Ben raised his hand. And Ben stood in the paint the whole time.
Is that number 28? That's the one he always be jumping around all the time. He'd be like, yeah.
I want to say 38.
Maybe 38. Okay. All right. No, I get it because Cash was a walk-on, right? He walked on last year as a true freshman.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Okay. Hey,
and he came on with Jordan Seaton. Jordan Seaton unfollowed him on Instagram. He was just like, how we going to build a brotherhood when y'all leaving? But I think Cash going to go back home and get some money from from Baylor, Texas Tech, TCU, one of them schools.
So why wouldn't Colorado pay him? I mean, like, at least give him a scholarship, bro. Like,
well, I thought they was gonna give him a scholarship after the spring game. That's when they knew him to get the scholarships out. He did the same thing at Jackson. After the spring game, they knew him to give out their scholarship. But I think Cash is easy travel for his family and all that kind of stuff to stay in Texas.
okay. But,
I mean, people talk about the Nico kid that left Tennessee. He went back to Cali. He's from Cali. And guess what? His little brother signed with the Bruins too. So now both of them, now they family want to go all around the country and get to stay in Cali and see their kids play.
No problem, bro. If that's your reason for leaving, then hey, I get it. I totally understand. No problem. They say Ben is 28. That's why I thought he was 28.
All right.
So offensive line wise, what did you see from a breakdown perspective, or a good thing as well? Because I was looking at it and I wasn't overly impressed. I know it's a spring game. This is technically what their 15th practice.
Yeah, it was.
Go ahead. Oh, my dog's stuck, so I'll answer while you pop back in. Actually, the center wasn't bad. I don't know who the center is. I don't know all these guys' numbers. I thought there was some guard play that could have been better. Definitely some tackle play. I thought they gave up too much ground. But with all that being said, I thought the center, whoever that is that stepped in from being a potential backup, he actually played pretty stout. What'd you think, Tiger?
Yeah, I think he did pretty good. I didn't notice a difference. I didn't notice it was a change in center. So he did his job. And I heard a few people say Jordan Seaton had a problem handling the defensive end. I think Walker, they were saying Walker got the best of Jordan Seaton. I didn't really see that.
He got a sack off of him, like the second or third play on Juju. He got a sack. He ended up getting a sack off Seaton.
Okay, so, and that's what a lot of people, they were saying that. They said Jordan had a hard time with him. But I didn't see it. It didn't look like BYU. It looked decent to me. I saw Colorado defense get in the backfield when they were doing blitz plays the most. Mm-hmm. Now, Salters, that's a different story, but he had the number 2 line. So,
yeah, like I just saw the play. He got to make that throw. You're right. He put so much zip on. If you just laid it out, that kid could have walked in. But no, to that point, man. So, I mean, going forward, we know what the transfer portal is and all that kind of stuff. Things gonna change again. Somebody gonna stir the pot. People gonna come. People gonna go. But how positive do you feel about this team going forward?
I feel good about the team because we got a lot of high school guys that's coming up. Like some people don't forgot about some of these guys we got out of high school a few years ago that's been in the program 2-3 years now, and they chomping at the bit to play. And if y'all notice, Prime is doing some stuff in the portal, but he's not high on the portal like how he was that first and second year. That first year he had like 60 guys come in. That second year he had like 40 guys come in. This year we kind of like around, in the teens, we've got guys coming in and out. So it's getting kind of like normal for a normal school.
Well, I mean, like I said, we're just having a conversation. I know I'm doing a lot of the talking and interviewing, but you're more than welcome, bro, to let's do it. Like, you know what I mean? Just talk, whatever. You got questions with me? I mean, same thing.
All right. So let me tell you
I do want to ask this question real quick. At the beginning, Mata's still there. Shout out to Mata. Had a mishap early on. I saw Coach Prime was kind of like jumping in front of him. That's what coaches do. I don't have no issue with that. But then they had the 49-yard field goal, and it was way right or left, based on which way you're looking at it. But it was way, way off in essence.
Now, who kicked it?
That would be number 13. What do they call it? I forgot his name. He the one who made the 50-something yarder.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this was snap hole kick, kind of like a live. Of course, nobody tried to block it, but it was a snap hole kick. And I think the kicking game is going to have to be big for Colorado too, right?
Well, you explain this to me because I was trying to tell these guys just the other day, and I haven't coached, so I don't know how many players when you travel. How many players can a team take with them when they travel?
Oh, in college, I want to say they take. You know what? I don't want to lie to you. I want to say it's 65.
65. So when you with Mata, he can't really kick past 40 yards. 40 and up, Mata, he almost automatic, right? So in Colorado's situation, do you take the power kicker so you only have to bring 2 kickers, or do you just bring 3 kickers because somebody might get hurt?
That's an interesting, bro. I don't know. I know you have 105 or whatever it is total, but everybody doesn't travel. I know you have 85 scholarships. Well, at that time, they changed that rule. But I'm trying to think, how many do you travel with? I want to say it was 65. Somebody put that in the chat. That's a great question. I'm not sure.
Yes, with 65, you already got 44 off rip with the first and second string, So, and now you got another quarterback. You're going to have multiple DNs and stuff. So, like Colorado, I know they got like 5 DNs. So, it's I don't know. It's a lot of coaches, they don't want to carry 3 kickers. I know that.
No, of course not.
If you're going 5 wide, you need multiple wide receivers. You can't just bring 8 wide receivers. You got to have 10 or 12.
I'm trying to see. That's a great question, Tiger. I don't know how many. I don't know if they're limited. I don't think they're limited. I think they do limit it because of cost, like because of how much it costs. Like, why am I bringing an extra 30 players to feed an extra 30 players? They're not going to play. They're not in the realm of playing. But I don't. Oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Why? This is just a thing. Why does the SEC only allow 70 players on road game? Okay, it said, this is what it says. All the Power 5 conferences limit you to 70.
Okay,
I don't know.
well,
I knew it was somewhere around there.
Well, you can have 3 kickers if you got 70. You got room to play with.
I don't know. We'll see. Rawhide, what's up with you, baby? Listen. So, like I say, I'm here, dog. Let's chop it up before we get into this dessert, man. We trying to get these likes up. Y'all go ahead and hit these likes, man.
All right. So, you heard the whole thing about Fran Brown with the wide receiver there. They wanted the $2 million. We know Miami tricking right now. Y'all gave Vick. Oh my God! And did you see what the coach from Ole Miss said about Vick? They was like he was on the pivot, and they was like Miami gave him that. Did they see the game against us when he was like, I don't know, 14 for 20, 28 or something like that with 1 interception, no touchdowns?
What's your question? What's your question?
So he's saying pretty much Miami just, are y'all buying damaged goods? The dude he wasn't great when he was playing, and then he got injured on top of that. And y'all feel comfortable with paying him that much money?
Well, here's what I'll say. It ain't tricking if you got it, first of all. Second of all, I do agree, right? He's hurt. I don't know how he's going to come from that. I don't know what his prognosis is in regards to what they're saying, how he's going to recover. But here's where Miami's in an interesting predicament. And I said this on your show when you tried to call me out about, Coach, you got some questions, some explaining to do. Mm-hmm. You bring a guy like Carson Beck in because of the game experiences, the type. Listen now, we talked about this.
I got you.
I know, but I got to slow it down because you'll be like, you'll cut this up. It'll be like, see, Coach, context matter. The type of games in which he's played, the scenarios he's been in. I don't know what his arm is going to do. To y'all point, you're right. But here's what I will say. Take him out the equation. Miami will now be with an Emory Williams, a freshman Luke Nickel, and a Judd Anderson. That's it.
All right. Well, since y'all got all this money.
Hold on. So in my opinion, you may have overpaid, but you may have overpaid. However, what you paid for could help you. Could it not? I don't know. But let's say if you didn't meet his number, you going in with a Emory Williams, who I personally don't believe that the university believes in. That's just me. Or you're going to go with a Judd Anderson, who's a second-year dude, I think, and he was, he's just a guy in my opinion. Or you go with the freshman who's equivalent to Juju Lewis, meaning they're just walking in as true freshmen together. And so that's where we are.
All right, so Pena supposed to be taking a visit there, I think, on Wednesday. And he asked for $2 million. Y'all gonna give him that $2 million too?
I don't know. I'm not in charge of it. If they give it to him and they feel like it, here's all I say. Dog, you better earn it. Look, so, I tell people all the time, I'm not in charge of the money. If you got it and you spend it, it better equate to wins. If it don't, then guess what? You just got robbed, bro. That's how I call it. You got robbed, not me.
Yeah, I mean, but you part of that hurricane, coach.
I'm part of Hurricane fan, but I'm not fanned out. Well, I can't say y'all stupid if you're going to pay him $2 million to come to the University of Miami. He'd be a journeyman. Then you got robbed. That's it. You did. You got robbed.
That money can go somewhere else.
Huh?
It's not another player y'all could be looking at that's better than him for $2 million.
But here's what I firmly believe in this. I believe enough in our receiving core as youngsters. See, I approach it differently, but I'm also not sitting in that seat to win right away. I understand, for example, Cristobal feeling the heat. But here's what I would do. I would not have paid Carson Beck. I would not have. I would have went in there with Emory. Emory would be the equivalent to my Caden Salter. I'm not saying they're the same player, but just follow the parallel.
I got you.
Luke Nickel, if I vetted him, I'm just going through there. Everybody's high on this Luke Nickel guy. That's part of what I talked about in the show the other day. If he's my future, that's what I'm banking on. You know why? Because our receiver room and all of that is just as young. But our running backs and our running backs and our O-line are older. So bank on your running. Give the young guy a chance to build his confidence. It is what it is. And you build off of that. All of these running backs, these receivers and quarterbacks are kind of right around the same. See, our running backs and O-line, like we got a young running back in Jordan Lyle. You got a Mark Fletcher that's young. He got another year. But our team is relatively young. Because even if you paid $40 million for Carson Beck, guess what? All I did was push whoever's coming up next back a year. All I did was push their development back a year. So why not take this, call it what it is, let them get some OJT on the job training. Let's see what we can win out of this and keep pushing and let him be the 3-year starter as a baby.
So tell me this, is the state of Florida talent going down? Because I remember y'all used to be king of football and let y'all tell y'all was the king of everything. And I made a video about 6 years ago. I said Georgia was coming. Georgia was coming for that crown. And Florida State couldn't win a game last year. Y'all lose to Georgia Tech every year. Like, has Georgia bypassed Florida? Because y'all got to go get a wide receiver from up north and pay him $2 million. Y'all, I thought y'all had dogs in Florida. What's going on?
Well, we do. But guess what? Everybody from up north come to get our dogs, like the Jeremiah Smith, the Brandon Enos's, and those kind of guys. However, I do want to help Georgia out a little bit and let y'all remember this. Please don't get it twisted. Georgia has an influx of Florida players because people moved because of the hurricane and they moved to Atlanta, right? Georgia also has an influx of Louisiana kids who came from the hurricane. So that pushes Georgia up. So let's not get it twisted, Ty. I like where you're going, but understand the influx. Okay, y'all want Travis Hunter? Where Travis Hunter was from?
Florida.
Where did he graduate from?
He got it from Georgia. Yeah, because y'all be shooting and doing all that foolishness down there. People ain't got time for that.
I know, but I'm saying these are these Florida kids, right? I'm just saying. So you're getting an influx of a lot of Florida kids and Louisiana kids. See, y'all.
Because we know how to act in Georgia. Because we know how to act. Y'all tighten up, act right. You know what I'm saying? Y'all won't have people leaving.
But you thought you was the Florida kid. Okay, that sounds good. But
y'all need us too now. Y'all, last time I checked, Charlie Ward was from Georgia. You know what I'm saying? Cam Newton went to Florida first. Last time I checked, he from Georgia. You know, so Clemson wanted our quarterback. Look, Clemson got 2 championships from our Georgia quarterbacks. So Hey, we got it now.
I say this: we've never been really high on quarterback. Yeah, we had our Teddy Bridgewaters, right? We got our Lamar Jackson, but quarterbacks from the state of Florida was never, I think, even at the Miami, the University of Miami, we all went to California to get those quarterbacks, right?
Yeah.
So those guys are starting to come around. But so I get all that. But dog, come on. You want to say about Cam Newton? Man, dog, I could go down the list and list of just Florida players. Stop it.
Well, the reason why I'm saying that, because I'm like, why are y'all shopping for an undersized 5'8" wide receiver that want $2 million when y'all supposed to have all these speed demons in y'all own backyard? What's going on with that? Why y'all passing over the guys that's already talented? Why y'all won't get on that bread?
I don't know. You're right. I like I said, I'm not in the rooms. I don't claim to be an insider. I don't claim to have answers, and I'm not going to tell you something because it sounds good. I don't know why they're going after Trevor Pena. I would rather give that money to a young dude that's in the building already, or like I said, because we got young talent. We got young good guys. We got JoJo Trader. We got Ray. We got a lot of guys that can make plays in that building. They're just young. See, a lot of times things happen because people feel the need to win right away, and sometimes you overspend. And that's where from a philosophical standpoint, if I was sitting in the seat, I got a 10-year contract. I'm only going into year 4. If y'all gonna fire me, pay me. But here's what I believe. Do I take that chance with Cam Ward last year? You damn right. Right? But do I take that chance with an injured Carson Beck? Probably not. Maybe I take that chance if a Carson Beck wasn't injured. But if he wasn't injured, I don't think he comes. He does this movement that he did. But why? For me personally, if Carson Beck comes and plays well, I'm cool with that. But I'd rather say, hey, I came in my first 3 years, I threw stuff against the wall, we made it happen. Now I'm going to build this because I got a good core. I've eliminated all of the stuff they talked about Manny Diaz. I've had a chance to implement my culture, implement my scheme, implement my philosophy. And now let's build this thing from the ground up, because we do believe in the transfer portal at Miami, but we also believe in high school recruiting. These guys now going into year 4, think about this. They are now juniors. It's their turn anyway. So what we waiting on? That's all I'm saying. So
I just feel like Miami don't know how to evaluate y'all own talent. Like, because like y'all let Teddy Bridgewater get out of there. Y'all let Lamar Jackson get out of there. So like y'all don't value y'all talent. Y'all will pay a guy from another state. Well, Vick is from Jacksonville, so I'll give y'all that. He is from Jacksonville.
But I'll say this: Teddy Bridgewater technically was supposed to come to Miami, and then Charlie Strong came in and snatched him, right? In essence, right? So those type of things happen. Lamar Jackson, to your point, guess what? That damn Lamar Thomas, who played for the U, came and snatched Lamar Jackson from his alma mater, and took him to Louisville. So we know what talent is. The problem is, just because you wear a U on your helmet don't mean you from the crib. You just got hired there. But guess what? A U player, Lamar Thomas, understood who Lamar Jackson was and took him to Louisville. So I get where you're going with it, but don't get it twisted, Tiger. Come on now. Come on. This is easy work right here. Yeah, you stuck. Talk to me, Tiger.
Yeah, I'm freezing up. I'm coming back. All right. But yeah, so I just want to make sure y'all understand y'all mishandling y'all funds. So don't be mad because y'all tricking away the money, but y'all tricking it on the wrong guys.
Bro, that dude make $8 million a year. He got to answer those questions, and I ain't got no problem asking him. I don't have no problem getting on my podcast saying, bro, you make $8 million a year. You the CEO of that thing. You out here misappropriating funds for $4 million. I give you the work. I give you the blues here, dog. So I'm just saying, I ain't got no problem. See, the problem is I don't, as they say, glaze. I don't glaze to you. You understand? I love exactly what it is.
I got a question for you because we had this on our show the other day and we were kind of going back and forth. At their height, when they was playing in the league, who you think had the most height? Coach Prime or Mike Vick? Not right now. When they was in the league.
In the NFL?
Yeah, when they was playing in the NFL.
Who had the most hype?
Yeah, who did people tune in to watch the most?
That's a great question. I'll say this, and I'm just gonna go off what I think. I think Vick may have had it by a small margin. Here's why. Just let me say why. I want to say Prime so bad. I really do. But because Vick was the quarterback and because he was so phenomenal running the ball and making people look crazy and so forth, he had the ball every time in his hand. Prime didn't have the ball every time. Prime made plays on the ball. But when the quarterback got the ball in his hand every play you glued to the TV. You see what I'm saying? Like, but when he on defense, but when Prime was on defense, they run the ball over there like, okay. Yeah. But Vick got the ball every time in his hand. And when he went to Atlanta, it was stupid. And Atlanta was jumping at that time. You know what I mean? The city itself. So I say Vick in that sense. Takes nothing away from Prime, but because Vick was the quarterback, and again, we all know the quarterbacks are the face of the league. Ain't no different than Lamar Jackson, right? Lamar Jackson right now. So that's why I go with that.
All right. So, because I've been saying this, and Coach Prime was a trailblazer. Coach Prime did a lot of stuff for the league. He did a lot of stuff for players. I mean, a lot of guys wanted to be like Prime. Like,
I think my dog's stuck again. The satellite moving. Shout out to Go Bucks. Atlanta was jumping because of Prime. Okay.
So many dudes in the league that want to be like Prime. But when Vick hit, because he touched the ball every play, and like he was the face of the Falcons, all that kind of stuff, he was promoted differently. So if Vick could harness that, because a lot of people know Vick. It's some people, they don't know all the teams that Coach Prime played for. They just know the Falcons, or they just know the 49ers and the Cowboys. They didn't even know he played for the Falcons. So you got some people don't even know Prime played baseball because it was so long ago.
They don't even know he played for the Ravens.
Exactly. So
hold on, but to your point though, Tiger, Prime, the genius in what he did was, like he said, he understood. He played DB. DBs don't get the love like the quarterback. Bro, I used to tell my quarterback this all the time. Brother, I don't care if my safety intercept the ball, the game-winning stop. The reporter going to interview me first, the quarterback second, and he might get to the dude that made the interception. The quarterback is the face of the franchise of everything. So in Prime's genius, he understood that. So what did he do? He had to create Prime.
Exactly.
Michael Vick, because of the position he played and how spectacular he was with his legs and moving and all of that stuff, the left hand and all that craziness, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was automatically being promoted because he on the tickets.
Exactly. So
now, imagine if he would have had Prime's marketeering prowess, it would have been through the window. It would have been through the roof. But yeah.
So, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right. So, with Vick, right now, with this transition, he being a head coach, and he kind of taking the same route that Coach Prime did, Vick needs, in my opinion, Vick needs to hire somebody that's with him. I ain't going to say every hour of the day, but when he's on that field, when he's in the office, he need to have somebody that understands media that can promote his brand, because Vick can be the quiet person in the room. Even when they ask Vick questions during certain interviews, I have got frustrated with Vick because I know some stuff about Vick that he won't even mention. And he just kind of sit up there like, well, it's ball. I'm like, Vick, come on, man, get the people what they want. So he don't have the personality to grab people and bring them in like Prime does. So he needs somebody. He needs a director or somebody that can help him brand himself if Vick want to move up and really make the big boy money. Because he said this, he said, my guys, if they ball out over here, if the Clemson and the bigger schools come calling, I'm not going to hold them back. I want them to go get their money. A lot of fans hate it when he said that. But that's the nature of the game right now. the big schools like Miami that can trick off gonna come get your players. They gonna do that. But players won't go to your school if they feel like you're gonna hold them back. So Vick already let these guys know, look, y'all come here and ball. I'm gonna help you go to the next level. I think that's gonna bring in more talent. You think so, or no? Or was that bad for him to say?
Well, no, I mean, he was being honest, right? And sometimes that's where real goes wrong. But here's what I will say. Here's what I will say. And this is where the problem is with cult members. Not calling you, dog, but cult members in general. Coach Prime is going to do it. Yes. But everybody ain't him. I said that. In the words of FAMU, as the band, if you ever been to the game, often imitate it, but never duplicate it. Just because you're a great player, you don't have the same mouthpiece as Prime. You don't have the same vision when it comes to this as Prime. You don't have that. Vick doesn't possess that. Eddie George doesn't possess that. Even Deshaun Jackson doesn't possess. Now, they may have those same characteristics on the field. But you got to remember, this Mike Vick first time not talking about his game, but talking about other people's game.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
He on training wheels right now. Yes, great player. It's still football, but it's a total different avenue, a totally different lane. And people have to understand that. And the biggest misconception in the world was because he was a great player, right?
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't mean it automatically translates to being this just know-it-all coach. Because the questions he's answering now, he's never answered as a player. When he was asked questions as a quarterback, hey, Vic, on 3rd and 14, when you saw da-da-da-da-da, he's answering as a player. Now, he has to answer him. Hey, so the development of the left tackle, he was never asked that as a quarterback. He was never asked these particular questions. So the process and all of that is different. Whatever he did for 15 years or the past 10 to 15 years is totally different than from a player answering to a coach answering. Same for Deshaun Jackson.
I got you. But if you're these young kids, do you think what Vick said hurt the program or did it help the program?
No, I don't know. I think he was being honest, and that's why I said when keeping it real goes wrong. I think what he was trying to convey was, if you don't have anything going, come here. And if you ball out, I'm not going to hold you here. I want you to go on. So I don't think it, in essence, hurt the program. What he was basically saying was, you come here, we could be a developmental program to the Power 5 or Power 4, rather. That's what I think he was trying to convey to people. But again, right, this is where you talk about messaging. As a player, he never had to come up with this kind of stuff. So it's about not what you say, but how you say it, right? Hey, man, here at Norfolk State right now, you know what? We want to bring guys in. Y'all may not have the opportunity you think you deserve, but come here and ball out. And if a big boy come, guess what, baby? I ain't going to hold you back. I'm going to help you pack your bag because I want you to get your money. See, it's about how you say it.
Exactly. So that's why I'm saying he need to have a producer or somebody that loves media in his back pocket. So when some of this happens, he put out another video explaining himself, like what's the real complete thought.
That's fine. But that's something he got to learn. And these are the learning curves I talk about when everybody think because you were a great player, you have all the answers with a headset on. It's way different than a helmet on. Yeah. That's something he's going to have to learn, or he has to recognize that he may need. But that takes time. It don't happen just right away. You understand? And that's all. That's all I'm saying.
Now I saw a video with him the other day. He got like 71,000 views in like 24 hours when Vick was just out there on the field going through the quarterback drills, right? I don't know if Vick understands he need to harness that. He need to do videos where he out there throwing with his wide receivers, doing stuff like that, showing the quarterback how to throw. You do the rollout, throw it, let your quarterback come right behind you, do the rollout, throw it. Like, people will watch that, just to see, dang, the quarterback look like Vick. Vick still got it. Prime could never really do that. Prime tried to do that, and that's why he hurt his toe. He was playing with one of them kids trying to race, and he fell down, and now he had to have surgery. I'm just being honest. Only
thing I can tell you is I hear you. And I'll say this to you, Tiger. You can talk to a lot of people in this world till they blue in the face.
All right.
But if they don't have a passion for it and they don't see the value in it, even though they see it's valuable, if they don't see the value in it, that doesn't mean they're going to do it. Right? That's just the God's honest truth.
That's right. Now, if you trying to show somebody something and they don't want to do it, they ain't gonna do it. So it don't matter. But I think Vick is open. I think that's why he went out to Colorado a few times to try to learn some stuff from Prime. So I think he's open, and he need that spotlight if he really want to turn that program around. Because a lot of kids don't know about Norfolk State. I know about balling. I didn't know anything about Norfolk State as far as their uniform colors, none of that.
Yeah. But again, you talk about HBCUs, right? They were HBCUs, right? They were in the MEAC and all out there. I don't know if they're in the SWAC now or what. Oh, and then Delaware State, the same thing. You know what I mean? Deshaun Jackson, I don't know what he's doing over there and so forth. But hey, it is what it is. I wish them guys the best. And now Charlie Ward at FAMU at basketball. So we'll see how it works out for those guys.
Yeah. But, and see, this is why when Coach Hayes, I like how you change your tune.
Uh-oh. Hey, man, take them pucker lips down, man. We don't do that over here on this channel, brother. I don't know what kind of Wi-Fi you got over there, man. Got to talk to this dude.
Can you hear me?
All right. Yeah, you back right now.
Yeah, I think my boys out there hitting my satellite. But
last thing you said was, Coach, I like the way you changed your tune.
All right, when Coach Prime left Jackson, at first you were fire hot. You were fire hot like that cup you got in your hand. You know what I'm saying? You were red now. But then you came back a day later and you were like, you know what? I see the process. I'm gonna take a step back and just see it play out before I really put my judgment on it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And since Coach Prime is took this step, look how many guys, icons that we know have became coaches now. You know, you had Eddie George, you had Ed Reed, you got Charlie Ward.
Eddie George was in the same window, but go ahead.
Yeah, but he came after Prime. Prime started off. Like Eddie George said, they came knock on his door. He wasn't even trying to coach. They did the school. So they said, "Hey, Eddie George, he in town. Let's go get Eddie George."
Yeah, the president called. He was doing financial advisement, and he said the president called him, and he thought he was about some financial advisement, and he was saying, "No, we want you to be the head coach."
Exactly. So this started a chain reaction when a lot of these players, these icons, were getting looked over. Now you got like 5 of them coaching now. So Coach Prime has changed that. I looked at the numbers. When Coach Prime went to the Power 5 but now Power 4 level, it was maybe like 4 coaches, 5 coaches, minority coaches in there, like African American. Now it's like 13 now. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It is. So the numbers have jumped. Even Willie Simmons from FAMU, now he got – this is the 3rd time this has ever happened. A white coach did it a long time ago. Coach Prime did it. Now Willie Simmons done it. So Prime had –
hold on, whoa. Talk to me. Did what?
He was a white coach back in the play. He was coaching in the SWAC a long time ago. Or
Coach Alcorn went this, and he ended up going to Southern Miss.
Yeah, so he made that jump, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was the only coach that ever did it until Prime came along. Mm-hmm. Now Willie Simmons, that was like the rival to Coach Prime. He was the only coach that could put up a fight with Coach Prime, really. Now he has a job on the next level. So Prime has started something. So now when I sit back and look, I say, you know what? Maybe I need to sit back and just watch this thing play out because Prime is moving the needle for a lot of people.
So here's my question then. I can appreciate those. But when I brought up Charlie Ward, you said, man, why he don't have the opportunity? Why is it? I'll let you answer this. So why is it when these guys get these opportunities, and I've always said this, when we get these opportunities, and I say we, I'm talking about black coaches, we get the bottom of the barrel job. Even Coach Prime, when he did what he did at Jackson, he got Colorado, bottom of the barrel job, right? Mm-hmm. Willie Simmons, FIU, it's bottom of the barrel job. FIU has never won 10 games in his whole career, in the whole time there. I'm just saying their best season, outside of Butch Davis being there, well, Mario Cristobal he was kind of like when he went to a bowl game at 6. Their first bowl game at 6-6 when they won the bowl game, so they finished 7-6. I'm just saying at FIU, and I think it's a great location. I think it's terribly ran. Administratively, it's awfully ran. And I worked there. I worked on the crystal ball.
Yeah.
And I think it's god awful. There's nowhere in the world you literally sitting in the mecca of recruiting. The mecca. And every other Conference USA Sunbelt team comes into South Florida, takes players, they come back and whip your behind. When I was there, every team that we lost to, it was one or two players right there from Dade County or Broward County.
Yeah, put on the show.
That went to Marshall, Tommy Schuler and Cato and them, flew all the way to West Virginia to Marshall, flew back and whipped out behind and flew back to Marshall.
Now, I'm going to say this. Freeman is the only coach that started out with a good job.
By luck. Remember, he wasn't their first choice. Just like Randy Shannon. Randy Shannon started out with Miami, but it wasn't his first. They were not their first choice. That's where they got stuck with. So I'm not knocking it. I just want to be clear that the university these guys was not their first choice.
I got you.
Okay. So I just want to be clear with that. It was kind of like the players stepped up for Freeman. Shout out to Freeman, though. And he done a great job in a short time. But shout out to Freeman. And the players stepped up and said, this is what we want. But the university was not their first choice.
I got you. I got you. So Prime has changed a lot of stuff, though. Like, he's changed a lot. I don't agree with everything that he does, but if we look at it, if you listen to all that rhetoric where he was like, I'm a induit of change or something he was saying, he has changed a lot since he started his journey.
So let me ask you a quick question. What's the biggest thing you think that you like that he has changed?
The biggest thing I think is promoting these players. He promotes some. Now I don't like how he don't promote them all like I want, but like how he had Juju on the stage with Salter. Both of them boys get love. How Travis and Shador got their jersey retired. Because they asked Prime about that, and Prime, first he wasn't with it, but he was like, let's go ahead and do it. So, and when he had Travis Hunter on the private jet, when they went somewhere, like, I've never seen a kid on a private jet with Nick Saban or none of these coaches. So,
yeah, don't do that.
Well, I'm just saying, I have never seen this. So, I done seen them players on the little fishing boat with Nick Saban, but not in the private jet.
You talking about like when they go to like the Big 12 conference and stuff like that?
Yeah, when Travis and they went to ESPN or something like that, and they do a photo shoot for Sports Illustrated, and they all flew together on the jet. Like, I ain't never seen that before. But it probably happened, but it never was shown. So Prime is opening up things and like some of the stuff Prime is doing, he talking to Fran Brown, and our Fran Brown, he told his players they can't spend like 40% of their NIL stuff. They have to save that money. So now you got coaches that actually caring about these kids, and they're not gonna let them just splurge. Coach Prime made his players get insurance policies and stuff. Like, they making these players make better decisions as men and not just go out here and have fun. Now, I don't really like all the chains and the gold and all that. To me, that's just you blowing a lot of money out of these like how George Seaton had the Maybach or whatever. I don't like that. I don't like that because that's blowing a lot of money. And you can't get this money back once your knee get blown out.
That's fair.
Yeah, but I feel like they trying to make these kids make better, smarter decisions, and he's showing it. Like right now, I think they're gonna have the highest GPA. So you talk about the change and all that, but then you also got to throw in there they got the highest GPA in college. And we talking about Stanford and Georgia Tech and all them combined in there.
Okay.
So those are the changes he's doing. He's giving these kids a platform. He's not holding them back. He's not holding them back, which a lot of these coaches hold these kids back.
Okay. So then what you say you don't agree with everything. What would be the biggest thing you disagree with?
The biggest thing I disagree with is sometimes how he say stuff, he just come out and just say it, and it's a little harsh. Sometimes it can be a little harsh. Some kids, I think, should have got more playing time. They didn't get the playing time. So, but that's on every program. That's every program. I think some guys, like Miami, I want the fast running back to get some burn. Johnson kid. He never played. So I can't just hold it on Prime because that's every program.
Gotcha.
But he do have some randomness takes sometimes when he'll just say anything, and
like
I don't
what?
really like that.
Like what?
Like how he said the thing about the T-step with like that's trash. Nobody can't play for me if they do the T-step. T-step is part of football. Like what you talking about, man? That's part of football.
I just asking because like I said, I mean, at the end of the day, it is what it is. I mean, I agree. I don't think anybody agrees or disagrees with anybody 100%. I'm glad you said it, man.
Another take when he said we can't run the ball. No, you can't run the ball. You're not sticking to running the ball.
See, this is what I be talking about, Tiger. This is why I say sometimes you be, and then boy, you a jump left, and I be like, damn, my dog. Hey, hold on, what is it? Hold on, what the thing be like this? Little cup, the little get out cup, bro. I was like, damn, my dog going to the light.
Well,
can I say this to you? With all due, I'm so glad you ain't say like, well, you know, he put the wrong shoes on, or he got on the wrong. He should have got on the plane. You know, you got some people out here, you know what I mean, grifting so bad, boy, that, you know, I'm just saying, at least you came up with legitimate, and I can appreciate it.
One thing you talk about playing, the home visits. I didn't like that because if Prime show up to your high school or whatever, that's gonna give you so much hype. You gonna be on cloud nine if Prime show up to recruit you. I think he can. It's a 50-50 ball if he go to these kids' house, if he wants some of these top kids.
50-50? I think it's more like 80-20.
You say 80-20?
Yeah. See, here's what people say. Lord, I'm scared to talk about it. Last time I said it, the young lady from Texas, Tab from Texas, called in. Nobody want to sit on your funky couch. And she ended up getting season tickets to the. I hope she got season ticket out what they said. But I'm just saying, these are the things when I said, bro, here's what I'm gonna tell you his magic power is, and I'm not gonna beat this bush down the bush. Every player, high school player that Prime has gone after, from a major standpoint, he's gotten and flipped, except Jordan Seaton. He flipped Travis Hunter. Start off with Travis Hunter. Flipped him out of Florida State, right, to Jackson State, right? Second year, Commander McClain flips him from Miami to come to Colorado. Third year, Jordan Seaton wasn't committed anywhere. He got him, right? Number one player overall in the country. The number one, well, I think he was the number 1 or 2 corner in the country. The number 1 offensive tackle in the country. Then this year, I don't think Juju was the number 1 quarterback, but he was highly ranked in maybe the top 5 or something like that.
All right.
Flips him from USC to come to Colorado. I'm just saying, the dude that's right over your shoulder pointing, if he come to your house and point at you, if he go to 5 houses, he could walk out with 3 of them. That's 66%. That's even lower, right?
Yeah.
Or 60%.
I give you that.
So if he go to 5 houses, he could walk out with 3. Just put that same energy that you put into those 4 cats we talking about, right? You would have done that each year. You have at least 15 dudes on your team. Now, I just don't think
I can't go with you all the way with that. The reason why I can't go with you all the way with that, because Colorado didn't have the money to pay these boys. Like, it's cool Prime showing up. That's why I said the 50-50.
That's bull crap.
No, because I like Coach Prime, but Ohio trying to give me a bag. And I'm finna go get this bag because mama needs some new shoes.
Sir, you know why I know that's bull crap? Because Prime was making the money. They were making the money at college. Like, this the part that, like, this is, here we go. You about to get to the cup, dog. Here you go. You was cool, and now you on your way back. When y'all say they don't have the money, how? When everybody talk about Boulder's the richest, Colorado's the richest, this, that, and the other. They got all these billionaires, all these multi-million-dollar companies, and Prime is still Prime. Prime went to Jackson State and had Walmart put in the damn thing. He got the flights from, I guess, Delta or United, wherever he got them from. He's still Prime. And you going to tell me he can't get bag money for these shorties?
Well, he got the Boulder And remember, all this is new. All this paying these kids is new. So a lot of people was against it. But when he got the voter, they was in the hole. And they had already asked these donors for a lot of money to build a facility. So a lot of these donors kind of tapped out, like, look, we don't give y'all all this bread and y'all losing. Now y'all bringing this dude over here talking all this crazy stuff, loudmouth guy. Man, miss me with that. And now he's starting to win.
No problem. That's year one. I get it. He only get one guy. Year two, he done made the money back in year one.
But see, they were still right there at it. Year two. Now they out of the red. Now they good. Now they in the green now. So now they should have some money. And now he ended up having a good showing last season, but it's still a question mark. Now your superheroes are gone. Travis gone. Shadur's. Is this really a real problem?
Back to my problem. I know you like support them. I'm cool. But imagine those cats come in. Guess who's a junior now?
Who?
The first year guys would now be in a third year of college, and they would have came in as puppies. That's what I was saying. So imagine if you got not just Kamani, and Kamani left. So you also got to take that into consideration. Unfortunately, he lost one in Kamani. It happens. I'm not mad. It happens. But Kamani, if he would have came, Kamani would have been in what? Year 3, going into year 3 of college.
But you remember now, Coach Prime was talking about this. A lot of these guys, time they sit down, and Nick Saban talked about this. They talking about money right off the bat. Nick Saban had the money to pay, but Prime really didn't have the money to pay because he said, look, I don't control the money. Y'all go talk to the man about the money. I don't control the money.
Because he know he can't say nothing about it. Come on, don't you know that? And I know that. Because they're not supposed to be a part. That's the difference between him and Fran Brown. Fran Brown like, man, I ain't paying that, which he know he ain't supposed to be part of it. But at the end of the day, if y'all don't think Coach Prime understands how much Juju Lewis getting paid or how much NIL this person was getting paid or Jordan Seaton was getting paid, then y'all are naive as hell.
But see, now I think Juju is a beneficiary. He benefit from the whole process. All right, you went through the first 2 years. Now Shadur is gone. Travis is gone. Some of that money free up. Now Shadur can get the bag. Now they can probably go get another D lineman, another offensive lineman, because now they can share some of that money they got with Travis because he's vacated the premises. Shadur is gone. Shallow is gone. So now you can spread some of this money around. And now you might get a few more people to buy in that might give a little bit more money. So now they might really have a $15 million bag that they can spread out. But before, they didn't have that.
I heard, let me see. Excuse me. Colorado's athletic department has seen a significant increase in revenue and profitability since Deion Sanders became the head football coach, often referred to as Coach Prime. The athletic department reported a record $146.6 million in revenue, including a record, here go another record, maybe Shador broke, including a record $31.2 million in football ticket sales. Just ticket sales was 31 point something million.
I got you.
Then the university, Colorado saw a remarkable net profit of $8.224 million, a significant turnaround from a previous deficit. I'm just saying, bro. Only thing I'm saying is it's money there. Y'all can't tell me money ain't there.
All right. So now let me address somebody in the comment. I don't normally do this, but all right. So we got somebody saying they wasn't getting NIL. So I think they talking about Travis and Shador. If they weren't getting NIL, how did Travis pay some of these other guys NIL deals? And how was they number 1 or number 2 and number 5 on the NIL list if they weren't getting NIL? Like they was getting NIL.
If you out your mind, if you think Shador Sanders bit into a piece of chicken and wasn't getting paid from KFC,
exactly.
You out your mind if you think Shador Sanders and Shiloh Sanders was on a Google commercial and wasn't getting paid. Y'all out y'all ever loving mind. You think Coach Prime out there selling almonds for free? Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Yeah. All right, here we go, man. We got 125 in the building climbing. Anything else you like to talk about before we get into?
That's what I like to talk about. I like to talk about how many wins did y'all have last year?
Who, Miami?
Yeah.
10.
I
love it.
So y'all really supposed to have maybe like
y'all love to play Miami. But go ahead.
So y'all really supposed to have around about 7, right?
It could have been, yes.
How much of an NIL deal did y'all have for the referees? Because they were cheap for y'all last year.
Really?
We had the Hail Mary play where you see the Miami player licking his body, he's motionless because he sees the Virginia Tech player with the ball in the end zone. He's just sitting there looking like, dang, we done lost this game. They gave that game away. You had the targeting play when everybody seen that was targeting, knocked that dude out. Oh, we ain't going to call that. So, I mean, the official was cheating for y'all all last year. So, can y'all really take them 10 wins?
Yeah.
Because if you look at it, Colorado was on the opposite side. Colorado wasn't getting.
Yeah. See how the devil worked? God worked the same way. He cut that crap off. Hold on. Start over, Tiger, because you was locked up for a second. Go ahead. You said Colorado didn't what?
So somebody hit my show and it was just like, hey, have y'all noticed none of our defensive ends, D linemen have got a holding call the whole year? And we was going into this is the game I thought I was going to do a lot with you. The game you got sick, the UCF game. And I was like, nah, I ain't noticed that. So we 5 games in, and it was like we ain't got a holding call on our D lineman all year. So the referees were working against us last year. You know, and y'all got referees working with y'all.
I'm still trying to see your point.
I'm just trying to. Colorado is better than what a lot of people are thinking, and I think Miami. I think last year they gave y'all some wins to try to give y'all some hype again. I really do. I feel like they gave y'all some stuff.
Okay, here's what I'll say, and this is what I love. For some reason, I know that people know I'm a Kane fan. Y'all see it. But I think when people try to use Miami to make a point, I think that's where y'all make a mistake. How many times I got to tell you, I am not fanned out.
I ain't trying to say you fanned out.
But every time I come on prime time talk, the colors are gold and black, the Buffalo Roman, prime pointing, ain't nothing on here orange and green except the background, that little piece right there, which I just put up. That's actually a Tennessee jersey. That's not even Miami. People try to use Miami to make points, and I'm not understanding. Here's what I'll say to that. It's irrelevant. Anytime people try to make the referee argument with me, regardless of the case, I can go back and say, well, what about the 2 safety calls when we tackled the dude in the end zone? And they didn't call a safety.
But wasn't that Florida State's year?
No, but that's my point. Hold up. You just said Florida State. You even remember the game. They didn't call it.
Yeah, but did Florida State go undefeated that year until their quarterback got hurt?
Maybe they would not have if they would have called the safety.
But that's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Florida State had the green light that year. That's why they went out and won all them games. Last year was y'all green light. And I think next year the green light going to be for Florida. We trying to figure this thing out because y'all borderline trash. So I don't understand how y'all won that many games last year. I don't understand it. Coach Hayes, you a coach. If a wide receiver and a defensive back jump up in the end zone and they both come down with the ball, who does the tie go to?
Tie go to the offense.
He go to the offense. So why the Virginia Tech game did y'all lose that game?
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe we had the ball. Let me see if I can pull it up. I mean, I remember the play, but I don't remember like the possession. But I don't have no problem pulling it up.
Yeah, you don't want to remember it.
No, but dog, I just told you I'll pull it up, right? I ain't got no problem at all. I'll pull it on the screen and look at it.
Look, the most controversial game of the year, now he just done forgot. He just
No,
can't even remember.
I said I can't look at the possession. I was saying that's all. Here you go, right here, dog. I'm quick with it now.
So I'm just saying, like the referees.
But
I
see,
think they
hold
had
on.
on Miami gloves last year.
But Tiger, this is where y'all have problems. See, I just looked at it right now. I mean, at this time, I was actually in the hospital at this point, but here it is right here. I'm trying to get that point right. Hold up. I'm trying to get it where I don't have to play as much.
I got you. Yeah. Even
They
Cam
be
Ward.
All right, here we go.
And I'll say this. Did he have on some Miami gloves, that referee?
We don't mind me. Okay. We think the game is over. All right, here we go. Keon Jones, here we go. Right here. Okay.
Look at 25. He looking at it right now. 25, I see it.
But dog, there's a dude's head right here. Watch. He's got the ball. Look at that response. Number 9 is behind him. Look. The dude in the orange got the ball.
Both of them got it. Both of them got it.
How does he have it if 43? If he's behind 43, just because you have your hand on the ball, don't mean you put. Look,
number 9 got the ball. That's a tie. A tie goes to the wide receiver.
I want to see the replay. I'm trying. Oh, here we go.
Virginia Tech got it right now.
Yeah,
Miami boy, he ain't even up there. Virginia Tech coming down with it right now. Now
look at 43.
Yeah, he on his back right now.
With the ball in his back. Bro,
now
that's the ball.
Roll over and grab the ball. Look at him. Now you see his hand roll over and grab that ball.
Let's see.
He on his back. Look at it. Look at the hand over here. The hand is on the ground. He don't got that ball. Look at that. He didn't have that ball.
Look, that's the ball right here.
I know. Now he finna grab it. Now he finna grab it right now.
Neither one of them have it. Look, it's out. Neither one of them have it. That's
it ain't on the ground. It ain't on the ground.
It's bouncing around, bro. It's literally bouncing around. What do you want, Tiger? It's bounce. Look at the ball. It's bouncing around. Look.
Dog, they already done came down. Now they already came. They hit the ground. Dude had the ball. Now what's got? He don't poke. Look, he poking it out now. They on the ground.
They're on the ground. It's bouncing around. But
the player's dead now.
To your point. All right. To your point. It could have gone either way, and it didn't. Oh, my bad, Tiger. Hold on. And it didn't. Unfortunately. But okay, that happens. That's life. Guess what? We got it. So what now?
Well, what I'm saying is, if Colorado get them same kind of calls like that, hell, we're going to win 10 games next year too.
Well, speaking of that, let me go ahead and just jump into this thing, man. Here go our special dessert. Let's go and get into this thing here, Tiger. This is what all y'all been waiting on. Y'all know I like to go in the kitchen and I barbecue people up. I already got some Tiger short rib. Me and Tiger were on the phone the other day. He started with the same foolishness. Miami get all the calls. And I'm kind of responding the same way I'm responding now. Tiger, what incident did you bring up?
I brought up the late hit on the sideline or the personal foul or whatever. Personal foul on the sideline. I felt like the guy didn't get a call, or I felt like he should have got ejected.
What game you're talking about? Be clear, please.
The Colorado State versus Colorado game.
First year. Their first year.
Yeah, first year. When Travis Hunter got hit on the sideline, when he was up in the air, the ball had already hit the ground. I feel like that was a blatant targeting, and you should get thrown out the game. If the ball don't hit the ground and you hitting the player, you targeting that player. That's what targeting is to me. It's not just because you hit him with the crown of your head. It's because you're trying to take somebody out with a malicious hit.
Okay. And so I told you the reason they didn't call targeting, they didn't kick the young man out because it wasn't a targeting to the head. It was an unsportsmanlike conduct, right? That's just the letter of the rule. I understand what you're saying. It was a malicious hit, like flagrant 1, flagrant 2. I'll let you explain because a lot of people will say, Coach, you be setting this up. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, so I feel like that was a targeting. The player should have got ejected out of the game. The referees just gave it a 15-yard penalty.
No,
I'm like,
no, sir. No, do that. Don't do that. On the phone, you said they hate Colorado so much they didn't even call a penalty. That's what I said to you, I said, bro, they gave him a 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct, but they couldn't eject him because it was not a targeting to the head. It was a late hit. It was malicious, but it was a late hit. There's no malicious like add-on. You said, no, they didn't throw no flag. Right?
I did say that. I said, they ain't throw no flag.
And I said, yes, they did. And you said, no, they didn't throw no flag. And I said, yes, they did. And then you said,
I would double down on that. They didn't throw no flag.
And I said, okay. And then you said, Tiger, come on, don't hesitate.
What I said, what you want to do? What you want to bet?
And I said, whatever you want. And then you said,
I don't know what I said at that point. I started talking about how the referee was cheating for y'all. And then you brought up some eyebrow thing. I want to bet something.
Don't you do that, Tiger.
What?
You said, let's bet an eyebrow.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did.
Maybe I said that jokingly. Maybe, because I know that's your thing.
And I said, that's my thing. And I said to you, Tiger, you don't want to do that. Did I not?
You did say that. You said you might want to check the film first.
I said you might want to check the film first, and you doubled down again and said, nah, let's bet an eyebrow.
Yeah, I said, I don't need to check no film. I know they hate on Colorado.
And I said, you might want to, I say, Tiger, man, you may make sure, let's take this back, dog. Take that. I say, take it back. Don't do this to yourself. Did I not?
You're right. You tried to save me, but I was off in Colorado land. I was off. I was over in the mountains. I was climbing that mountain. I had a big axe and everything.
You was at the Mecca trying to find the cult leader, and you couldn't hit nothing else. And so with that being said, you went to look it up, and what did you find, Tiger?
Yeah, I saw the flag. I saw the flag on the ground.
There go the flag right there.
Yeah, I saw it. I see number 11 right there. So I see you ain't trying to Photoshop this.
Nope. Also, you're going to see this, right? Not only that, you're going to see not just that flag, you're going to see the referee. He giving the what?
Personal foul.
He gave a personal foul call. So, Tiger, unsportsmanlike conduct.
Oh!
Hold up, Tiger. Excuse me.
Oh.
Can I get Tiger? Can I get that left eyebrow, sir?
Hey! I got my stuff ready. I got my stuff. I'm not like Jerome. I'm not like Jerome. I don't make no bets. I don't make a bet and run away from it. You know, I don't make a bet and run away from it.
I want that left eyebrow right now.
All right. You finna get it. Hey, now Jerome, I'm doing it for Jerome. I'm just showing him how to act. You know what I'm saying? When you tell somebody you're gonna do something, you gotta do it.
Here go the funny thing, Tiger. This Tiger just lost a stripe. Let's get it. Let me get that eyebrow, cuz. I told you. I tried to.
Let's get it. All right, this level right here.
I want it ball. That like you got a guard.
What?
I want to say ball.
Oh, I forgot I had a guard on here. I forgot I had a guard on there.
Ball. I want that thing ball.
Hold on. I think my power don't messed up. I don't know my power working.
Don't worry about it. I got battery. I got quarters right here for you.
Nah, here we go. Let's do it. All right.
You ain't got to worry about it. I want all that left eyebrow.
I always wanted some of the little lines in my eyebrow.
That's right.
You know, the little lines. Some people that have a little line.
When y'all come to the kitchen, don't play with Coach because I told you the ambiance is beautiful, the atmosphere is exquisite, but the customer service terrible, bro. Nah, that ain't ball. I need that thing like a newborn boogie.
Hey, look, that's all I got right here now. My clippers don't cut that deep.
Your head ball up there. Gonna get the same clippers you got on that head up there.
Yeah, look, it's gone.
Yeah. Hold up. Let me get the close up.
Yeah.
Oh, he done froze.
Look, they gone. They gone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, your first Vick. Your first Vick. So look.
Tiger done lost his strike around this thing. I told y'all stop playing.
When you come talking greasy.
Come to the kitchen. Don't play with me, dog.
Look, so I done set the trend now. If somebody come to the kitchen talking greasy, if they ain't willing to risk no eyebrow, and we got to boot them off the stage.
Listen, I tried to tell y'all, dog. I tried to tell y'all. Don't play. Listen, and I tried to see y'all think I'm evil, dog. I tried to walk my dog out of it. I said, Tiger, don't do this. Don't do this. What he did, he doubled down. I asked him again, Tiger, please don't do this. He tripled down. And guess what? This is why I say you be teetering on that Colt mentality. You done lost an eyebrow for a dude that Travis Hunter don't even know you. Damn.
Travis don't know me. Travis don't know me.
Travis Hunter. If you see this, man, help him out. I done already got one person season tickets. I done got another dude some stuff. Man, the dog done shaved the eyebrow off for Colorado. Y'all got to help him out. Send him to a game in Boulder or something.
Hey,
don't worry about me.
Them boys know me. I'm going to tell you how they know me. I'm going to tell you how I know they know me. Last year, we said Travis and Shador, they need to do a reverse play and throw it back to Shador and because Travis can throw the ball. Now, Travis need to throw it to him and Shador catch a touchdown, and both of them need to do the Heisman pose in the end zone. They did that very same play. It didn't work out, and Travis just broke loose and ran and scored, and they still both did the Heisman pose. So they know us over here. They know us.
Guess what? Can we give a moment of silence for that eyebrow? The world's smallest violin for you, Tiger.
Look good.
There it is.
Hey, I still look good though. Hey. Oh.
We don't play no games around here.
Coach Hayes, you got me now. You walk me down this alley. You walk me down this one.
No, I'll say to you, Tiger. All love, due respect, dog. You stuck to your gun. You ain't make no fake bet. You know what I'm saying? You're a man of your word. So I got to give you nothing but love and respect, dog. I got to give you love and respect.
Hey, one lady told me I look like The Rock.
I was about to say, boy.
Now I don't got my eyebrow no more. I might lose it with the ladies now.
Now, shout out to DJ Promo in the building. See what you're going to look like, boy, if you lose that eyebrow to old coach. I go get that eyebrow. Law dog. I go get that eyebrow, law dog. I don't play no games. See, it's easy to take money out your pocket. Don't nobody know $100 missing. But everybody want to know what you winking at right now.
Hey, man of my word. I told you we're going to do it. So now I set the stage for anybody that come over here talking greasy, talking crazy about Miami, about Colorado, about whoever else they want to talk about. You say, hey, if we're going to finish this conversation, we got to put an eyebrow up.
I'm just telling you, dog. I always just say, look, I make it easy. The kitchen always open, baby. Anybody welcome. People be mad. Why you look here, dog? And I tell you, please don't eat the tuna fish today, sir. The mayonnaise has been hot for a week. You're going to have your stomach tore. I want it anyway. Okay.
Hey, I'll nominate somebody. I nominate Promo to come to the stage because Promo has some crazy takes. And I think you might get a left eyebrow from Promo.
I know I got yours. I almost got that right eyebrow today, but I let you slide. I let you live, dog.
But yeah, so now all the Colorado folks, y'all can't say I don't have love for Colorado. I lost my eyebrow trying to defend Colorado. So y'all tune in to the show at 10 o'clock. You know, we go in at 10 p.m. Big Tiger Media. Y'all check us out.
I just want to let y'all know, appreciate y'all. Dog, somebody said, bro, you had 2 years to review that film. 2 years. 2 years. Well, here go the worst part, y'all. I told him to review it before he made it.
Yeah, you told me. You told me.
Look at this. I think it's weird that you bet you thought was an eyebrow. Show your ass up.
Hey, look, I'm a man of my word. So look, we're gonna keep doing this. So
you
who
gotta
is
talk
your
like
team?
this the rest of the show. You gotta talk like this the rest of the show, to the side. Turn to the side. Look that way. The other way.
I got to look this way where you see the good eyebrow for the rest of the show.
Damn, boy. My dog gonna be in the mirror like this.
So, well, hold on. So you tell me, because I noticed what you did last year. I noticed you tried to, you know how on the ship they had a small little boats so they can escape when the ship started going down? I noticed you put a central forward on your small little boat, and you thought that was going to be your escape route. Now they coaches out of there. They got Frost back in the building. You still on that central forward train?
Yeah, actually, the only reason I stopped, man, be honest, because like I said, I had gotten sick and then coming back, it was just a lot. But yeah, I'm still gonna try to work into it in the summer. I just gotta work it, get it going, like I said, move. But yeah, I still think I like Central Florida. I think they're sitting here in the Mecca and they built a lot up fast. They got a lot going on. They got money, they got all that kind of stuff.
Well, you see, Frost went back, and what's my man at Rutgers? What's his name? Machino or something like that?
Shianu,
yeah. He hasn't really turned Rutgers around. I mean, they say he built it, but he didn't do it like Fran Brown did it at Syracuse. Do you think Frost can turn Central Florida back around, or did he lose that magic that he had?
I think he can. Now, again, it'll be interesting to find out, because when he was there was no NIL. So I don't know. They got money at UCF. Now, do they have Clemson, Bama, House? No, they don't have that kind of money. I don't believe, or they're not spending it. But they have spent money in their program, because dog, they have built up a lot of stuff in a short period of time. But it'll be interesting to find out. I think they can compete in the Big 12. I just think their quarterback play was just bad last year. I just think it was bad. And that's what hurt them. Dang, boy. That boy out of there. They call that boy, they call that boy, huh? That's your new name. Huh?
So who you think will have a better record next year, Miami or Central Florida?
Oh, Miami should have a better record.
Okay. All right. So you believe in Vick?
I believe in either. I think with the record we have and the running game we have, just to be honest, I think we should have a better record regardless.
Who do y'all start off against?
Come on, dog. It's right there ticking. Dog. I know you got an eyebrow.
Oh, Notre Dame. Okay, yeah, Notre Dame. So you think y'all gonna beat Notre Dame?
Sure. Now here's what I'll say.
You want to bet eyebrow on that?
No, sir.
Yeah. So you just cap. Stop the cap.
I said I believe. I didn't say we are, because here's the thing. I have nothing to look at. We didn't have a spring game. Our coaches felt like we can't have no spring game. So I don't know what nobody looked like. I don't know what the O-line looked like, the D-line. Bro, I'm not finna go through Twitter and look at cell phone footage trying to patch together no damn spring game. Hell no.
Yeah. And see, that's why the ACC is falling, man. The ACC is falling because they stand old school. They going backwards, man. They going backwards.
Yeah. So I'm not finna put an eyebrow on some. Again, I'm not fanned out, dog. See, I keep telling y'all that. I'm a fan, but I ain't fanned out. Well, I'm finna lose an eyebrow like you. Look at that. Your your eyebrow leaning, make your head lean because you got a little bit more weight on this side. You leaning like this now. Well, I'm telling you, see what the eyebrow do for you?
So, look, I hear you doing a lot of talking, but all thing I heard was I don't believe in Miami. That's what I heard you say.
Context matters. I told you. Selective hearing.
Y'all got deep pockets. Y'all sit in the mecca of talent. Let y'all say it. Y'all got all the talent in the world, and now y'all ain't gonna be a Catholic school. There are a lot of kids only want to go to because they don't want to go and deal with all that Catholic stuff. A lot of kids won't go there. So y'all can't out-talent a Catholic school with y'all deep pockets?
Oh, they pockets way deeper than ours, dog. Trust me. Trust me. If you don't think the Catholic Church got deeper pockets than a 10,000 student school in Coral Gables, y'all out your mind.
So you think Notre Dame paying like that?
I do.
I haven't heard anybody from Notre Dame with no mega deals.
And you ain't.
Exactly. So what I'm saying, the mega deal came out of Miami.
The Catholic Church ain't finna let that out. What? Come
On 3 gonna let it out.
No,
24/7 Sports gonna let it out. ESPN gonna let it out. If it's a real deal.
So you don't think Riley Leonard went there and had a deal out of Duke?
Man, look, I'm saying it ain't no mega deal. It ain't nothing like what Miami just did with Vick. Miami just made Vick the highest paid college player.
Good. And it better pay off. And if it don't, I'll be right on here blasting them. Damn, Tiger, you look confused, man. I want to,
Convicts versus Catholics.
I know. Everybody say that. Everybody say that. I know what y'all trying to say, go Bucks. I know the only thing you're trying to say. Trying to call us urban.
That's I got my own emoji.
Hey, convicts versus Catholics. And I'm going to leave that right there.
All right, Coach A, since you were scared, man, you know what I'm saying? They say scared people don't make money. That's what they say.
I'll just say this, go Bucks. In Miami, we wear pants when we go to church. I'll leave that right there. But anyway, with all that being said, Tiger, dog, I had to be honest with you, dog. It was fun. Respect to you, dog, for shaving off your eyebrow.
Respect.
Be careful now. Don't let your hand slip when you rub across that thing. Just whoop. You know what I mean? It'll be about 4 months for that thing to grow back. So go get you about, I think Amazon got headbands, like sweatbands. I think you can get 6 for $12. You get them in all different colors.
Hey, I'm going to say this. I thought Coach Prime was going to take a lot of Florida players and turn them into superstars, but it seemed like he's leaning towards Texas and Georgia. I mean, I understand the Georgia and I understand the Texas. He stay in Texas. He got a lot of connections in Texas. But I feel like Fran Brown is going to start coming to Florida, and he's going to turn more y'all players into superstars than Miami is doing right now. That's what I'm going to say, man. That's what I'm going to say. Like the Uno kid. I didn't know anything about the Uno kid. Now everybody talking about him. See, Fran Brown might put this kid on the map. And I heard they got like I think like 30% of Syracuse roster is from like South Florida.
Hey, do me a favor, Tiger, if you don't mind. Just turn straight, look straight ahead for just 1 second. Like real straight, real close to the camera if you don't mind.
Hey,
Right,
trying to
right
get a screenshot,
right
man.
Smile, man.
Look at this dude,
Yeah,
man.
that's perfect. That's perfect.
Look at this dude, man. See, you don't want to talk about how y'all losing y'all talent to Syracuse.
That's perfect. Oh man, you can't wait till I cut this up, boy.
Man, look. I'm gonna say this right here. I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna leave it alone. Syracuse could have got 4. No, they could have got 8 dudes out of South Florida if they'd have paid all them boys $500,000. The money that they paid Vick, they could have split that up with 8 dudes.
Hey,
8 dogs out of Florida.
Hey, ICH, check this out. Look at Tiger real close and see if you notice something missing. Apparently you left. He said, y'all still talking? Don't you think Tiger's well done by now? Why are you still cooking him?
Hey.
Look at Tiger real close and tell me what you think. Don't nobody say it in the chat. ICH, tell me what you think is missing. That's how much I cook. Tell me what you think missing. Because Coach Hayes don't play no games when it comes to the kitchen, man.
Man, look. If Miami would spread that money around, y'all could have a real team. Y'all wouldn't lose Jordan Kiffin yet.
Oh my God, he missing an eyebrow.
Hey.
Flawed. I try to Tiger. Do you not get that they don't have to split up money? They have to spend. Look, you know what ain't clicking? What isn't clicking? That eyebrow ain't clicking. Turn the other way, Tiger.
What ain't clicking is y'all finna lose y'all top talent to schools out of the state because y'all want to pay one dude all this money.
Hey, Chris, why is the eyebrow missing? Did he gamble it? Now you got to go back in the video and look. Go back about 20, 30 minutes. You'll find it.
Yeah.
Damn, Tiger. You my homeboy, but I had to do you dirty, dog.
Hey, I did that to myself, but part of the reason why I did it, Coach Hayes, is to help out the show because I want you to these other dudes that come here talking real crazy and greasy. I want you to hold them to the same standard.
I make the bet every time, but they won't do it, dog. Like I said, you got people that won't even pay up their bet. At least you pay it.
Now you get to say, are you a real man like Tiger? Are you a real man? And now you get to hold them to the fire.
Only real men have one eyebrow. You right.
Mm-hmm.
That boy like Popeye. Anyway, with that being said, we about to get up out of here, Tiger, man. Let the people know where they can find you. Hashtag eyebrow snatcher.
Yeah. Big Tiger Media. You can find me on YouTube and you can find me at Big Tiger on TikTok. If y'all want to see the stuff I got going on with my ranch and my cows and all that kind of stuff, find me on TikTok. If you into sports, coaches, like black coaches all around, like I don't just follow Colorado. I follow all these new coaches, Mike Vick, Fran Brown, Eddie George, all these coaches. So if y'all into that and y'all want to know what's going on with some of these coaches, check me out at 10 o'clock. Big Tiger Media on YouTube.
All right, there it is, man. Appreciate you, dog, again for coming through, man. Hey, y'all give it. I don't know about a real man, but I know a smart man won't go around making an ass bet. Hey, old school, I'll bet you that last tooth in your head, we can knock it out live. Whatever you want to bet, you only got one tooth. We can knock that thing out live right here on the channel. How about that, old school? How about that, old school? You got that one raggedy tooth in your mouth that's hanging on like a hubcap in the fast lane. Why don't you go ahead and bet that one raggedy tooth that has no purpose in your mouth, but to hold your tongue in from hanging out?
Hey, appreciate you, Baby Gravy, for dropping that link.
That's LV in the building, man. I don't know why she called herself Baby Gravy. I'm gonna leave that right there. But LV, the producer in the building, she dropped the link.
That gravy. I see the gravy. I like it too. Go ahead.
Tiger, you ain't got no eyebrow, dog. You look like a goddamn.
Man, you can't even tell. I'm gonna have a hat on, pull it down low. They ain't gonna be able to see that. I'm gonna pull that hat down real low. They won't see it.
Tiger. Hey, Marlon, say cheese. That what that.
So look, I don't put a new standard on the show. They get out of pocket. They start talking wrong. They get in their emotions. Hey, we got to put an eyebrow up.
Tiger, did you just say you like baby gravy?
Yeah.
You said yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, Tiger, don't do it, dog.
Mm-hmm.
You like baby gravy, Tiger? Don't do this.
I'm just
don't do it, Tiger. Don't do it, Tiger.
Look, man.
Nigga, shout out Black Butterfly. Get your girl to draw an eyebrow.
Yeah. I'm gonna get me a wife out here. She'll draw me I just gotta get me one. If I get me a wife, she'll help me out. She'll draw that eyebrow for me.
Can I just say this to you, Tiger, on the real? You look like my I got that older aunt. You look like she do when she halfway ready for the club. Like she ain't got to the other side yet. She halfway ready for the club. She might be ready in 10 more minutes. And that job.
Oh, hey, we got to do a countdown. We got to do a countdown for this Notre Dame Miami game.
It's already counted down. You got 130 days, 16 hours, 25 minutes, and 13, 12, 11 seconds. What do you mean countdown? Let's count down.
You know Notre Dame got the best quarterback. Notre Dame got a guy. They got a guy.
Let's bet your eyebrow right now. Your right eyebrow. Tell me his name right now.
I don't know his name. I know he can do a back and flip. I know that. He was a 4-star coming out of high school. He different.
So you talking about Notre Dame got a quarterback. You ain't said nothing about throwing. He could do a backflip. And
he like Bryce Underwood. That's why the quarterback going to Syracuse right now, because he realized, dang, this dude better than what I thought. He different.
The hate is real. You don't even know his name. You know his initials?
Because he just popped up. I just saw him during the spring game. I went and looked him up and saw he was a 4-star, but that's why the quarterback that came in during the championship game. He in the portal right now because they know they got a guy.
Bet your right eyebrow right now. Don't try to look it up. Bet your right eyebrow right now. What's his name?
I mean, I told you, this is my first time seeing him during the spring game.
But
so I don't follow Notre Dame like that for real.
You know he's a 4-star, and you know he could do a backflip, and you know he good enough to beat Miami, but you don't know his name.
Hell, Georgia Tech good enough to beat Miami. Notre Dame just played in the championship game. What are we talking about?
Well, when we said TCU just played in the championship game, everybody lost their mind against Colorado. But TCU played in the game. What does that mean? It's a whole different team. See how y'all contradict yourself?
No, that's different. TCU squeaked in. They squeaked in. Notre Dame, they smacked a lot of people on the way. And they lost to a team that had a $20 million roster. That's different. That's different.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
It's Kenny Minchie. Kenny Minchie. That's him. That's the guy.
Who?
Kenny Minchie. He gonna roast y'all. He gonna run over y'all and throw the ball. He gonna do everything he want to do. He different. Notre Dame finally got a guy. Now they finally got a quarterback they can hang their hat on and promote the school to a different level. It's about to get real dangerous up there at Notre Dame, South Bend. It's about to turn into them Rocket Ismail days again.
Right. This part of the show, the closing of the show, is brought to you by a rose. A rose is an eyebrow pen. All right. Natural looking of the 24 hours wear, effortless application. All right. This part of the show is brought to you by a rose eyebrow pen. We want to thank y'all. We appreciate y'all for coming out. Big Tiger, again, thank you, man. We're finna end the show. Hold tight, don't hang up. Man, so with all that being said, I want to say thank y'all again, man. Y'all know where to find Tiger. Ellen MVP has put it in the chat. And with all that being said, we're going to holler at you. Peace. This boy done cut his goddamn eyebrow off. Oh, my God. That boy say,
Hey!
How you lost your eyebrow, Tiger? Oh, my
man.
God. Tiger, you done lost your goddamn eyebrow.
Hey!
I'm sending the dog on Amazon truck to your house tomorrow.
It's still saying we live. We still live?
I don't know if we live. Your eyebrow ain't alive. That's what I know.